Muted, muted. I was muted. And I'll bump my microphone back up. I had had all sorts of weirdness. All sorts. But hello. Well, I'm probably making all sorts of crackly sounds. Hello, good morning. I don't have makeup on, and that's gonna be okay. We're sleepy people today, and that's all right. Today is like a busy day for me. It's not like a big day. It's like a bunch of smaller stuff, but there. Oh, the ad break doesn't end for another 15 seconds. But if you're here, hello. Justin, I'm so excited for us looking at these cards later. I kind of figured today's kind of a card day. I'm going to try and see if I can get my hair out of my way. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. Um also, yesterday. So, first of all, Daniel the DM, I'm going to go ahead and throw a little shouty outy his way because Daniel the DM is wonderful. Uh, and Daniel the DM. Daniel's wonderful. And go follow Daniel on a ton of other things too. Good morning, Zeb. Go follow Daniel on a bunch of other stuff too because he's incredible. Daniel and I, in addition to playing our favorite characters right now, Delilah and Clay over on in addition to playing Delilah and Clay on Wild Magic West over on Winter's Tales as run by the wonderful Smoking Glue Guns. We've been playing a lot of Minecraft and we live in the same state. We're kind of across the state from each other because North Carolina is one of those weirdly long states. So you either live an hour away from other people this way or 8 hours away from each other this way. But Daniel is a great accountability friend, and Justin's also a great accountability friend. And so your girl, made a reel, literally the first reel of original content. Well, maybe not actually, because I did try and do some TikTok stuff early on, in 2021 maybe. I did that in 2021. Uh and it's just a little this, little that, little nothing too special. I was like, wow, I'm gonna use a trending audio and try that whole thing. Um and did a little thing there. But I made one. I made it on TikTok and I posted it on TikTok. And you know what? I should probably just show it. I mean, some of y'all have seen it. And I know Justin's seen it because I messaged Justin. I was like, Justin, I did the thing. But I'm doing well. Yeah, I'm doing super well. It's kind of like really well. Let's see it again. Roll that beautiful bean footage, right? I think I have to open up Chrome for this. Hold up. Let's see. Let's roll that beautiful bean footage and then we'll see what the numbers look like because I don't think I've ever seen numbers that big. Definitely not in my bank account. I've never seen a number like this in my bank account, but it's the numbers I have on views on this thingy. And yeah, but let me get the things present. Yeah, so hiya. All right, so this is my Instagram. You'll notice numbers small, but that's okay because my view skis on this guy right here. I have no idea how loud this is going to be. There's a very, very good chance this is very loud. So be warned. Oh, or it doesn't make any sound at all. So it's a trend from the musical, the concept album for Epic. Gosh, this feels weird. Tell me though. Oh, that's loud. Look at that. How do I make that not so loud? Wow. Wow. Let's try again. Tell me though who's Penelope. She's my wife. Anyways, tell me though. This is a real character that a student made. And a very accurate reaction to how I reacted to this student who's I'm talking like one of those sixth graders that looks like a fourth grader. They're just a little guy, just a little friend, very shy, kind of to themselves, gets nervous often. Sweet kid, got to teach them in the drama class, and like genuinely sweet, but kind of has big moments, like big feeling moments, but that's very common for that age. Anyway, this kid rocks up with, and if I'm not mistaken, because I'd have to go back and I'd have to, like, cover up all this. I have to look it up. This kid made a black dragonborn, and it was a blue draconic sorcerer, so a blue dragon draconic sorcerer, or like with the blue lineage. The haunted one background. Uh Wrote down chaotic evil, and under the thing where you get like they can randomize, and like you can pull like your bonds and your your personality, your traits, you can pull those different things there. Yeah, had in there, of the two things that were there, I don't run from evil, evil runs from me. And I think that the other one was something like, I don't let people get close because I don't want the burdens of my past upon them. And this face is legitimately me when I read this one. Good morning, Johnny Fireheart. Needing coffee myself before continue hauling stuff out of the house. Oh, are you in the midst of moving? Well, to take care, we're here. We're here. We're yappadoodle doing out in the world. But yeah, no, so this thing, I don't know if you can see the numbers on it. It's very weird. Well, first of all, I've never had anyone like anything I do this much. So there's like almost like there's over 750 likes, and I believe that this thing just hit 14,000 views. This thing just hit 14, I think. I don't know if it like I don't want to, hold on. Let me go to main page real quick. Because I don't know what kind of details it shows under ins. Oh God, bleh, bleh, bleh. Loud. Let's see. Oh yeah, it is 2 views away from hitting 15,000 views. That 15,000 is half the population of the town I live in. Now, apparently, which is also this is also a thing for me because I'm relatively new to short form media. I'm pretty new to it. Let me get some music going back again. Let's get the mayor playlist going. Um yeah, so this thing's about to hit 15,000 views, but it says that there's 7,802 accounts reached, but that's also still like I hate math, but I love thinking in numbers. Like I love thinking in relational numbers. In the or not numbers, but in like quantity, right? So like the idea that 7,000 people, almost 8,000 people, different human beings have seen this and went hee hee ho ho. And then 800, so like 10% of those people went hee hee ho ho, clicked like. This is just the thing that I don't know if it's because 1991, the year I was born, put me like right on the edge of like, play outside till the lights come on, and and don't come back in my house during a summer day kind of deal. That sort of thing. It just looking at numbers like that. So the first school that I taught at had just about I think like just about 1,800 students. So I often use that when I was teaching in my history classes. When we were talking about sizes of armies, or we were talking about settlements, and we were talking about those different things, I loved to put that into a comparative lens so that the kids can understand, okay, so they this place was sieged by an army of 10,000 people. That's 1/3 the population of the town we're in. Or there were this many people died over the course of this, or there were this many casualties. Because again, that was also a thing in the history class, having to be specific about what a death was versus a casualty in ancient wars. So long story short, the fact that I have something that is like been viewed has been viewed 15,000 times. And that's on Instagram. Because I listen, I brushed off the old TikTok for this one too. Well, I made it in TikTok because I found out that the timing stuff on that made a little more sense. I need to maybe try making a reel with Instagram. But yeah, so I made this, I put it on TikTok, and TikTok was going fast at the beginning. I just don't know. This may not be interesting to anyone, but for me, it really did kind of like recalculate how my brain was thinking about numbers and stuff here, right? Because I used to, like, when talking about historical events, that comparative nature. So yeah, so it's and I guess I achieved the goal of I wanted to make something relatable. So I'm hoping whether or not this is relatable to I remember my first middle school D&D character. But there's that. I need to find a new editor since CapCut is being no bueno. What did CapCut do? I just downloaded it. Do I need to undownload it? I also have done this thing lately. I've done this thing. I'm trying to get my hair to look okay today, and I just don't know if it's gonna happen. What did CapCut do? Because I mean, TikTok and CapCut, aren't they the same company? Like, aren't they owned by the same thing? And really, like, I think when it's gonna come to it, I mean, I didn't use CapCut for that. I literally just used TikTok's internal, like, thingy for it. I know I have DaVinci Resolve. I haven't used it. I've used Premiere in the past, but I'm not really using that. Mostly just because I don't have like I'm not paying for an account for it. All your stuff, posted or not, is theirs to use. What? That's silly. That's I mean, okay, well, let's go ahead and undownload it. Good thing I haven't done anything there. That's another thing. Maybe one of these days because I have the AirPlay thing connected, I'll have a day where maybe we try out different editors on our phones. So I have DaVinci. I think some basic edit stuff that I could do could probably be done in Canva, honestly. Canva has a video editor, and I use that a lot with my classes. So when we do our film classes, they need to edit it, like, no dead air, etc. Like, make sure you adjust the volumes and things. And Canva has an incredibly basic, very rudimentary, editor, which is great though because we have a school account with it. So yeah. Oh yeah, never used DaVinci. It's free, which is the best. DaVinci's free 99. So DaVinci Resolve is free 99. Or at least it was when I first came across it. Renegade, hello bestie, how's it going? So DaVinci is it is a hefty program, but it was used in a lot of other things, and it has a free download. So the studio one is if you're trying to collaboratively work, like if you're working actually within a studio where you and multiple editors and you and multiple people are working on something, kind of like how Adobe's Cloud Studio was doing its thing. But yeah, the Adobe, not Adobe, but DaVinci Resolve. This is something that, like I said, I teach a film elective class. So a lot of what I'm doing is I'm teaching the basics of filmmaking, different film, like how to get a shot on there. I finally have a new phone. Oh my gosh, I have the 16 Max Pro because I was able to upgrade. Hallelujah. So I've got this. I have like a new pop socket wallet coming too because I can't live without my pop socket wallet. But this thing has a cinematic mode, and so these kids had cinematic mode during my film elective this past year. So I was like, well, let's play around with it. And it's really great because you're able to adjust things like depth of field. You're able to adjust things like exposure, the frame rates, I do not need kids submitting a lot of their work to me in like 4K, so I don't need kids submitting their assignments to me in 4K, but 1080 is nice. But again, teaching them that ideally to make something have more of that film look, it needs to be at 24 frames per second. I might be in here, I think I'm at 30 frames per second. The stream itself should be at 60 frames a second. And that makes a big difference. There was a whole thing with The Hobbit. One of the things that threw people off when they were watching the Hobbit movies is not just that they filmed their 3D movies with two cameras side by side, so that it's like one camera is functioning as right eye, one camera is functioning as left eye. The other thing that they did is that they doubled the frame rate. So they doubled the frame rate of what they were shooting, meaning that instead of shooting at 24 frames per second, they were shooting at 48 frames per second, which makes this kind of like weird, like I find personally this weird gummy sort of thing. Because when we think about how film itself is made, again, hey, you guys are taking my film elective now. Congratulations. I've really got to update my curriculum. Oh my God. But, kinetoscopes, so not the original, Zoopraxioscopes. These guys. So when you think about this, the thing that makes film work and that makes the film eyeball, like that lets us capture images really well, is that there's something that's breaking up each image. So if I wish that I had brought it in. I had students make, I think they made zoetropes. Yeah, so my students had to make zoetropes as a part of their class. It was one of their first projects they had to do. And what it does is that the way that we see things, because if you looked at this image and it started spinning, without the little black slots there, you just see a blur of motion. You just see a big old blur. But what you see here, by looking in through these little slats as it's spinning, that frame, that causes the movement not to blur. It blacks it out, it sets it up. So that's why, what are things like, because again, remember the kind of games I play. I play Minecraft, and I think maybe I get to 75 frames per second, which is nice because it's pixelated. But like, doesn't stuff like Fortnite go up to like 120 frames per second? Like 120 FPS? Like, what is it? FPS average Fortnite. Like, isn't it like, yeah, 120, like 30 to 60 is usual, but like for competitive play, 120 to 240 frames per second is, I can't even conceptualize what that's like. But long story short, DaVinci Resolve is going to be the best thing for us right now. It has a free download. It's got, it allows you to do editing. It allows you to do more than a lot of things. You can edit, you can cut, you can color. A lot of my students were using Adobe Premiere Rush, which of course, Adobe is also doing that thing kind of like CapCut where either they're using it to like inform AI or they're using it to like taking ownership of different things. So again, read the fine print. I know I don't always, which is how I came across asking this to you guys right now. But DaVinci Resolve is, I know many of my friends also are using this for audio editing. A lot of folks are using this for audio edits as well. So, and it has like your standard sort of things here. Definitely look into it. Yeah. But I will go ahead and say Canva, has a simple, oh God, you get to see behind the scenes. You get to see how the sausage gets made, y'all. Also, that's really bold, really bright. But you can edit, so it has like a video editor in here. For example, this is stock footage. I was going to do like an ancient times sort of intro back when this channel was going to be called Of History and Mystery, before Oh Hello Mayor was a thing. This is what it was. Let me also, just for my my what, not safety of mind. What is that? What's the word? It says a word and I can't think of what it is. Let me duplicate this. Why am I okay, duplicate? Copy? I guess you would, oh well. I guess we'll figure this out. Basically, I just want to cover up this chunk a little bit more. That's okay. Here we go. All right. Just, nothing big. But yeah, like, so this is just some stock footage and you can do basic edits together. You can have audio underneath it. You're able to adjust the length of it. You can adjust your speed. This is very rudimentary edits. And a cool thing about Canva, not a sponsor, but golly gee, do I use it. I use this for my classroom all the time. Yeah, this it uses just basic rudimentary sort of editing. You can do background remover for things. Canva does good work. It's finicky. I find it finicky on mobile devices. I like using it better here. But you're able to like speed up stuff. You're able to adjust your audio. You want to put a voiceover on it. Plus, it's got all sorts of the other all sorts of these other goodies here. Where, like I said, I made this. I made the promo for Craig and I doing Minecraft. I made it so it was in like the new Instagram shape and size. And then I was able to resize it. There. Look, see, even that's not the best, but oh well. It is what it is now. But yeah, so I was able to do that so that then you're not having to redo a ton of stuff. It just kind of adjusts the things how you think you would like it. Yeah, I guess I should, and that's the thing is like I did a lot of, I always play around with, I'm not a marketer by any means. I've played around, yeah, Canva being able to resize something you've already designed and adjust it. You can see I've been working on different, these are like old logos and stuff that I was like, what am I gonna do? Oh, here's my I made a vision board for Delilah. Yeah. This was my pitch to Whitney about Delilah over on Wild Magic West. And I just kind of had this like vibe board of the images, kind of her color scheme that I liked, because she's got dappled petal pink fur all the way across her body. Her ears, like I love the idea, because I loved, in a perfect world, I would have taken this beautiful art that someone did of Dolly Parton and like just stuck the ear in the hair. That's like exactly how I pictured Delilah in my head. This big lustrous hair, but I wanted all of her clothes to be flowy like Florence and the Machine. So that's why I wear, when I've been playing Delilah, when I played her for chapter 1, I loved just wearing like the flowy stuff. I thought about wearing a wig for it, but I didn't want to go full cosplay. I kind of wanted to go the essence of Delilah for it. But yeah, so I just love it. So, and I like that because she's a Furbolg, she was used as a messenger in her younger years and hidden step and different things. So I love her. I love this character so much. Oh, I could burst into tears talking about her. Oh gosh. And that's like the first time. I used to make a bunch of Pinterest boards for all of my characters, but Pinterest is so full of AI slop right now. So here, we'll take a little view down the Mirror's design lane. Let's see what one of my first ones was for this. Make sure I don't have anything out there that's like crazy. Just keep going. Oh yeah. Okay. So, oh man. Okay. So the first handful of, I think the very first overlay I had was this. I actually have footage of my first stream because I didn't realize that I had set OBS to record everything. And then I was wondering why my computer, my little tiny like MacBook Pro, was so hot, and it was because it was recording that and it filled up with data so fast, and so the computer's kind of cooked. But I did this. I didn't do this, but I got this. This was like one of the first setups I had. This I liked. I tried to, do I have it here? Yeah, I made what I called my apothecary overlay. So I made, you could see that I made the little followers and whatnot here, a little chat window and everything here. And this was, I think I used this like once or twice. And then this was going to be my full screen one. And I was going to put like followers and whatnot up there, but ended up never using this one, or not using that one. I think I used it for like a stream. My first year streaming, I did an end of summer 12-hour stream. Yeah, like I had like a look at this. Who was she? She was prepared. She planned her streams out. Look at this. Look at this design. I used Pinterest for design and home ideas. I do that as well. I'm having a family friend build me a bookcase for my new place because Book Goblin. Awesome. And my mom gave me the idea of using wallpaper for a backdrop of the bookcase. I've seen that. I've also I've used contact paper before on the inside of my drawers in the kitchen. So like just something that kind of adds a little color on the inside of it, and doing the same thing with the inside of cabinets. I haven't done it in this house, but I did it in my old house, or in my old apartment. Contact paper, yeah. So like the contact paper that you put in there, because I used to get a lot of like the paper and stuff. I would put that on my desk at work, or like just, because we get like in the classroom, you get a standard metal desk that's been there since the 80s, but I got like a marble top one, so I put it on marble on it. And then on that desk and a couple of other little desktops that were in the room, I found whiteboard. I found like like dry erase contact paper. So for a couple of the tables that I had when we were doing collaborative work in the classroom, I would put white dry erase marker there, put some dry erase markers there, and it's like, before you guys start on your project, I need to see some brainstorming happening. Don't just YOLO in. This is called drafting. You've got to brainstorm. You got to doodle it there. And of course, the kids would leave cute little messages and stuff. And every now and then the kid would write on it with Sharpie. That's high school for you. But yeah, look. So this was a long day. I remember. This, I think, was my second longest stream. I think the longest stream I ever did might have been close to 12 hours. Maybe this was the longest, but I did bleach and dye my hair on stream with a friend, and they were not used to streaming. I could do this all day. I could do this all day. They were struggling. But yeah, I did this. Yeah, what was it? Yeah, get ready with me, because it was 6 a.m. It was early. I was trying to get a lot of this was trying to get myself ready to get back in the classroom. Also, let me know if my mic is too loud, because I'm watching it jump. Just let me know if the sound is okay, because I keep fidgeting with things, and it's sometimes not a good idea. 100 subs for a 24-hour. Yeah, I was just like, please, like, someone give me 100 subs, and I will do a 24-hour stream. I will take a nap on this. You will watch me honk shoe me on my day bed. But I was like, yeah. I mean, I average 8 subs. I average 8. Oh, they're occasional pops. Okay. Here, I can pull it back some, because I adjusted the settings on the thing itself. Yeah, it occasionally looks like it was popping up to the red, so I'll pull it back just a little. But yeah, we did a get ready with me. We did Gartic phone with the community. Yeah. 100 subs should have been uncapped subathon. Oh, I couldn't have uncapped. That was the tricky thing, is I couldn't do a subathon. Maybe one of these summers coming up, I could try a subathon. I just don't have where my platform is right now. I don't think it. Although, think about that. Oh my gosh, wait. Hold on, wait. Okay. Do a summer subathon. But we call it like summer school. Because I've seen some like classroom backgrounds. No, there was like a cute little anime. There's like an anime style classroom background. I've thought about getting it. I thought about getting it a couple of times. Yeah, it's like something that looks like this. I've seen a couple of them that are on like Pinterest, but like if I did like a little like classroom background wallpaper and I did a summer school subathon, uh and that's like what I do is that it's a subathon, and then I'll have like a list of topics, and I can either make playlist not playlists make um uh uh PowerPoints or something for them. So like, because I would have to take breaks for like basic human things. Like I can't do a Ludwig style subathon. I think I would die. I watched Ludwig's uncapped month of subathon. I watched that with my eyes. I'm not built like that. But I think if we did like a summer school, uh maybe next summer, a summer school subathon, I have a list of topics, and then we can make like uh do that, or then like maybe then have other people using like the knock feature. They come in and they teach, like we teach the class together. But yeah, 100 subs should have been uncapped. I think the issue is with the mic since it's happening. Oh, dang. Okay, 1 second. Let me fix that. Okay. So I pulled, whoa, that was too much. So I pulled back the cloud lifter on it, because it added like a bunch. Yeah. Summer school subathon. Oh, that would be a lot of fun. And it would be great to make that bonus money. Is this sounding better? I keep just fidgeting with the things, hoping that it sounds a little better. I know I probably sound a little more muffled because I did change the setting on the microphone itself, but I think I don't know. Wait, I think I forgot to turn on a thing. Yes, it does. Okay, thank you, Hot Dog Wizard. I'm a BRB bestie. Thank you, bestie. Yeah, but summer school. Okay, so but hear you out. Okay. I think the issues with the mic because it's happening, dude. Yes, I think it would just be a lot of fun. I think it would be a whole lot of fun to try to do that. I feel like it would be the world's shortest subathon. I'll be honest with you. Because then I would also have to figure out how would I run it? Because knowing my summer times is when I do a lot of recording and do a lot of other things. I would have to like maybe, I don't know, go back and like save different things and put reruns up for if I'm recording for something. Like kind of take the video, maybe like see if I can get that might be a thing to do, would be to keep the subathon itself live. I would be able to still keep watching chat, type in there. But also, like, if I'm recording for an AP or we're streaming on something else, be able to get that so it's going separate, but not affect the stream. I feel like this is how people who have multi-PC setups do their thing, and I'm not there. I run all of this off of like a big hoss of a computer. Like that's the plan. But yeah, no, yeah. Gosh, wow. Well, we beat these. I guess I have to do. I've done some horror streams. Well, not really horror streams. I've done like there. Okay, but what if Lo-Fi Spirit City playing in a co-working mode? Yeah, that might be the thing where during those times of like, hey, I'm recording something right now, still live. Here's this, and then maybe do like put like a smaller video if I could get the well, like once Wild Magic West and everything is up, I could put like the episodes that Delilah's in. I could put that on there. Or like things like the Cthulhu one-shots. Different things like that. Put it up there so that they're still technically watching stuff that I'm doing, but it's on co-work whatnot with it. Yeah. Was the stream where Mr. Mayor read bad poetry in his procurement voice? It is. This is that stream. This is also the stream where Mr. Mayor played Alice, not Alice is Missing. That's a different game entirely. Emily is Away. So yeah, when he played Emily is Away, this was the stream where we had Mr. Mayor on for 2 hours. For Forget what challenge hour was. Yeah, I did several costume changes. This one was great. I think we raised $400 and I walked a check over to the Eastern North Carolina Food Bank. I do remember that one. So a portion of like I walked a check for we raised like $400 over this, and I walked like a $200 check over, I think. 250. I forget. I'll have to go back and look at this. We did the AMA. Oh, gosh, this was so long ago. Yeah. I have an ambience playlist on YouTube if you want to use the summer school subathon, if you want to use that. Oh, that would be great. I was so happy to contribute to the insanity. Yes, when he was reading poetry as Kermit the Frog. Oh, I've never loved my husband more. We did Just Chatting and Wind Down, end of that. We played Gartic Phone for a bit, and then we ended up playing something different. That's another thing we could do. We used to play a lot of community games. We did Marbles a lot. We did... it wasn't Gartic Phone. What was the other one that we did? Well, we did a lot of This was before GeoGuessr, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, we played Marbles. Oh, it's okay. I don't see it there twice. Maybe it just doubled on your side. Yeah, Marbles was fun. We did... oh, it's over here on my Firefox one. It was the same people who did Gartic Phone. I think we did Minecraft for a while with Sarah. Sarah's doing great. Just for, I know that we hadn't heard from Sarah in a bit, but Sarah is now a full-time teacher in the classroom. At the time was subbing when we were in Minecraft mode. She was a substitute for a while, and yeah, Marbles was a lot of fun. Yeah, we did Gartic. There's other ones now. What was the other one? No, wait. I always get nervous like looking at this. Yeah, I'm so proud of Sarah. And Sarah and her wife. Oh my gosh. Sarah and her wife got to do their 10-year, like they did their 10-year like vow renewals because they didn't get to have like a big wedding when it happened. They just ran down, as soon as it was legal in our state, they ran down to the courthouse and got that handled. But it was it was so wonderful. Oh, they looked beautiful. Oh, that was the thing, is I think Keith and I were driving back from having stayed in the mountains for like a week. So we were driving back on the day of their wedding, and we drove like to their town for it before heading home. So, and it was just an afternoon because where they were is like about an hour or two away from us. But it was good. Yeah, this was good vibe hunting. I think we actually have from this was a clip where we did good vibe hunting, where we were just trying to find the happiest videos on Reddit. There's a lot of cats. I think one of the bigger clips I have is of me like making like a Pikachu face at just like a random cat moment. Yeah, no, this was a good time. Oh, the IO games. What? Oh, it was like the IO games where it was the fish one. Do you guys remember the fish one? Where was it? Oh my gosh. Where are my bookmarks? They're in here. Bookmarks. Oh gosh. I used to have, here, let me pull this over here so I can, oh wait, I have a whole other screen I can be looking at. I keep forgetting this screen's over here. Okay. Oh, what was the, online IO games? There was like, guys, it was like, it's not Crazy Games, is it? No. It was like a random dude's name, right? It was like a random guy's name. Oh, what was it? There was like the fish IO game. Oh gosh, what was it? I had so many of these. Oh no, wait, I had a couple of them. Stream games. Okay. Gartic Phone, Gartic on Stream. Oh, Words on Stream. Yeah, we used to do that too. Oh, that's gonna drive me bananas. You know what? I think because it was on a different profile. Oh gosh, what was it? Oh, it's gonna drive me nuts because that was a fun time. Long story short, that was a fun time because everyone in chat could do it, and we were all like fish that would like try to eat each other, and it was a worldwide game. IO online games. I'm gonna find it. 'Cause I swear it was like some dude's name. It's not Crazy Games, but it is very similar. Yeah, like, because they've got like a little like Minecraft knockoff that's there. They've got like Squid Game ones. I never watched Squid Game, but you know, just I've watched other people play games based off of it. But let's see. Oh yeah, I was doing tarot read. That was one of the things I was going to talk about today. Today's kind of a card-centric day. Because as talked about before, I am starting to try and make more short form stuff, which is wild. Did this thing hit 15? I think it hit 15 now. Watch out. Is it quiet? Yeah. Oh my God. I have never had. I don't know what these numbers are. Like, oh, almost 800 likes. This is weird. I'm happy people liked it. That's kind of the point. You're supposed to make stuff you liked. And I've had this thought in my head for a long time. So it felt really good. I also, every time I start noticing the cat in the background is a paid actor. Wait for it. Cat in the background, paid actor. Yeah. Well, and so what's also nice, you know, I hate to think in content mode, but I think that is kind of, you know, the name of this game. I'm gonna be I have like a group of 20 something kids in this D&D club. So there are some tropes among these kids that are about to make it into these videos. And I'm gonna use that same sound bite. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do the same sound bite because yeah, I have 20 kids in a middle school D&D club, but a bunch of the 8th graders just became 9th graders, so I think I'm gonna open it up to the 9th grade. Because I want them, many of them were learning to DM as well. I'm really happy with it. And what I use with it is, hold on, wait, I think it's in my drive. Just one moment. Let me do this, make sure I log into my drive in a way that we can't see anything vital, because it like has me log into my personal drive first, and then it has me log into my other drive next. Yeah, oh, so like this is the stuff that we were doing. Ignore all the other random stuff, but this last stream, or maybe this wasn't last stream. This was a couple of streams ago, and we actually used this. We made a 1-page dungeon or a 1-page encounter, because we can't really do, we have a 55-minute D&D club time, or well, it's club time. So it's like Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and then you have the lunch and tutorial period. Tutorial's like a study hall, so we rotate between lunch and study hall during that like middle of the day block. And they are so we have like 55 minutes. So one of the things I may end up trying to do for content is, how do you use your club time when you're running a D&D group with 20 plus kids? What do you do? So what I'm doing is, we created a 1-page encounter with a little bit of a setup, clues that can be given. Next time what I need to do is start doing better about putting DC values here. Is the music loud? I feel like the music was loud in my ears just now, but it's okay. Putting DC values here for the kids. And then investigating the scene of the crime. And then, of course, what we did is then I found this here. So if y'all need a half-elf rogue, let me know. Hey, well, that might be something that we do, because we're going to have new kids coming in. We're going to have 6th graders coming in. We're going to have kids who are new and joining us in the club. So maybe some of the days coming up, we'll make some pre-made characters and throw them on D&D Beyond. I want to post like 2 or 3 more things on socials. Here's my scheme, guys. My scheme. I want to post 2 or 3 more things on socials. And then I'm going to email Wizards of the Coast because I emailed them through the educator portal because they have an educator's set of resources, which I have for our school. I'm going to email them to see like what kind of connection can we make if I talk about how I use your resources at my school. What can we make? What can we talk? Well, let's get talking about things. And then it would be really cool to like make this in a prettier format. Cause in my TTRPG world, it's a mess in here. Don't criticize. Is it in the 5e book? No. Where did I put it? Is it under? No, it's not under the cheat sheets. Although I did print out some of these for kids who were just learning, but that's also another thing. I think even this is really overwhelming for someone trying to learn what to do. I think like I loved this one because it tells you like, let's look at box number 5. Box number 2 has what you need to do. Box number 3 has this. If you're playing in a game, you don't need to know what your proficiency bonus is there necessarily. You may need to know stuff for like half covered, but you don't need this many words. Because if I'm playing D&D, and I say this as someone with ADHD, but also works with young folks, but also works with adults who are learning the game. Are we on D&D hour? Should I change the category? I'm so glad we're getting a lesson in D&D. Yeah, we're changing the category. Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah, we're changing. We're get over there. And then we'll just do prepping. Like I guess we'll just do discussing middle school D&D club stuff. Cool. Because it is important. I think that, and again, part of it is there's so many great things that are here. Coffee and lessons. Yeah, summer school. We're back in summer school. Hi, Dead Zed Zone. What's up? Yeah, what's up, Teach? Good to see you. We're actually in I kind of hit teacher mode really hard. We're talking about how we made a 1-page encounter a couple of streams ago. I guess this wouldn't have been a couple of streams ago. This would have been, wow, back in March. I feel like this was just not all that long ago. But we made this for the kids to run D&D. Because when I have 20 kids in a group, when I have 20 kids in the library at the same time trying to do this, I can't run all of their tables. But if I provide them with the sources and think about the questions and stuff that they're going to have, then I can help mitigate that. I can come over and answer questions. A lot of these kids like really wanted to learn how to DM, and I think learning off of an encounter is great. I'm planning on trying to put some of these where there's social encounters, because being a theater teacher, you talk about character motivation. So even the NPCs have motivations. Is it chill to do all that stuff at the library? Worried some of them might get into it and get a bit rowdy. So it's the school library. It's called the Learning Center. My school is very, very small, and so it's used a lot for club time. This is only during our club and lunch period. So I've been doing it once a month. I might try to do it twice a month because these kids love it. And I may have to, like, if I'm doing it twice a month, I may have to split it up to like an A group and a B group because I think that the club is going to keep getting bigger. Especially because all of my 8th graders are now 9th graders. And I think they're going to want to keep being involved. We're at a 6 through 12 school, so grades 6 through 12. Oops, sorry, touched the microphone. It does get a bit rowdy and loud. So that's another thing that if I might put together just worried the library would be strict on those being quiet policies. Right. And even public libraries have smaller auditoriums and community spaces where you can be a bit louder. And if it's known and designated, that would be something. I toy with the idea of branching outside of the school with this, but I also am trying to be more regular about streaming. I'm a full-time teacher. Hi, Mr. Taz B. Hello. I'm trying to, I'm doing a full-time teaching thing. So I'm teaching AP Art History, potentially Africa and Asia Studies, and then my 4, a lot of performing arts classes. I actually need to count up how many classes I'm teaching. Typically we have 5, because there's 7 classes in the day and we teach 5 of them. And so we have 2 45-minute planning periods sometimes. And then we have the lunch and club period. And all of us have advisory, which is like a homeroom. The schedule is super bonky. Dog, are you all right having to handle all these classes? I will say I did start off bless you, husband. I did start off at a school where it was block schedule. So we had 4 classes, there were 4 classes in the day, and then we had 3 of them, but all of the classes were 90 minutes long. So being a long-winded history teacher, I love doing it. And I warned all of my classes. I was like, 2 days of your week, we are taking notes from top to bottom of class. The other 3 days of the week are project-based or assessment. Because I'm not talking for 5 days straight. But I'm loading us up with notes, and then with what you know, with the notes in your notebook, you do the thing I ask. So for my 9th grade world history class, I used to do choice boards. I used to have a lot of choice boards. So we would get to like the end of a unit, into something like that. Okay, with what you know, go and demonstrate what you've learned. Or we've learned about the assassination of Julius Caesar. We've learned about Roman columns. We've learned about all these different things, right? Now show me what you know. And on my choice board, there would be different options. There was a creative writing option where I would put an image and they had to create using what they knew, like using words that they learned in class. They would have to write a creative writing story that connected properly with that. So I had some really creative doodling kids. I had art. Oh my God. I love having artists in my class. Also 5 minutes till the ad break. It is a 3-minute ad break at the top of the hour now. I'm trying to give us better at that. Woo, spoilers. Didn't know Julius Caesar died. Yeah, I know. I'm bad about spoilers. I should put that in my history spoilers in my titles here. But yeah, am I all right having to handle those classes? I'm not gonna lie, coming to the school with the heavier class load was a lot. It is a lot more than I'm used to. I don't want to say used to doing, but because in a 90-minute class, you can teach ultimately 2 lessons in a day, whereas in another one, you would only teach 1. But during our lunch and club break, we try to do this. So you have ultimately a 50-minute period, but the kids are going to want to eat. The kids are going to want to socialize. So we ultimately have about 45 minutes during this time period altogether to have a beginning, middle, and end of a story. So what I did I put it in? Let me see if I can find, gosh, my content planners. Oh yeah, this is what we did. We made this encounter. So this is going to be one of their first encounters that they come across. This is the one we did. Is it chill though, considering you get a variety of classes to handle that contain totally different topics? It is. I find it chill. Well, the good news with being the theater teacher is that I don't have a lot of papers to grade in a theater class. A lot of my class period is providing the space and providing the guidance for them to work on script writing or to work on a monologue or to work on gesture. So that is a bit of a relief. If I had to do like five art history classes or 5 regular history classes, that would be a lot. Because in my old school, I did 3, and that was a lot. Best classes are the ones without paperwork. Now, it's not without paperwork. I don't do quizzes and tests in my drama class, but I do performance tasks. So they have to demonstrate something to me. My favorite mantra in all of my classes is just show what you know. Just show what you know. Show me that you know something. Okay, so I think this is what we did last time. We used the the book of random tables, and then we just made it to detail so that then this is now something I can give to the kids. And I think this one was also the drums one too. This one was tricky to put together. But yeah, we were working on those. I saw another thing back there. That's why people go to different hobby shops to play D&D. There's a place in Texas called The Gathering Place that does D&D. That's really cool. I would love to open up some sort of community center in this area that would do that. There are community centers that are there, and that's what I call having class. It is fun. I just think that it should be, best classes are the ones. Yeah, it is. I'm very much looking forward to the content of AP Art History. I am dreading reading all of the essays because I get hypercritical on my own writing and I don't want to carry that forward to the kids. I don't want to carry that forward towards the kids and because there's getting lost in the weeds on editing and spelling and all of that. But also my whole thing is that I want to get them to the point of, are you using this sentence for a reason? Do all of your sentences have a reason for being there? Or are you just saying stuff and using words that you thought you heard somewhere? Is this sentence supporting the other one? And it takes a long time. It takes a long time to teach that. But I'm starting, and I try to gamify it. When I was at my old school, when I was teaching honors world history, many of them wanted to go on and take AP world history, AP US history. And for the AP exams, they have a specific kind of essay question or they have a specific type of written question called an SAQ, a short answer question. So you're given these prompts and you have to respond to it ultimately in 3 sentences total. So you have to respond to it in 3 sentences total. And the first sentence has to have the job of making the claim. The second sentence has to have the job of citing the evidence. The third sentence has to have the job of the commentary. And so that's 3 out of 3 points. If yours don't do that job, you lose those points on the exam. And so the same thing with AP Art History, which I just did the training for. It was wonderful. Douglas Derricott, incredible instructor. So much knowledge. Also, the ads may be starting? Question mark? Ads. Feel free to use your Bezos bucks to get around them. I got cute new little sub things. Honestly, glad I'm majoring in culinary and not any other courses degrees. All them paperwork is going to give me a headache. It is tricky. Yes, that would be a smart idea. A community center where the main focus would be on D&D, but could be focused on other items. Oh yeah, I would love to do it where it's like a place for acting classes or for instrumental rehearsals or, as weird as it sounds, the ideal community space that I would love to have would be like an old storage unit facility. Like some of those old storage unit facilities that have big storage areas. Having some of the smaller ones soundproofed for podcasting and recording, having some of them doing that. So a warehouse, yeah, but instead of it being one big warehouse, having it so it's like a bunch of smaller rooms. Yeah, I know. Sorry. Yeah, boo ads. Boo ads. But yeah, thank you. The ads do the thing. I'm not in this for the money, but I could be. I'm not in it for the money. I'm in it to be here and talk to my friends out here, but I could be in it for the money. If money was given to me, I'm not going to say no. I'm a teacher on break. We don't get a paycheck like that. Yeah. Yay. Oh, good. They're done. Great. I'm glad they're short. I know I wish that there was a way for me to opt into doing like just banner ads or something. Like to have more banner ads show up. Yeah. Just about to say something there. I need my D&D lessons, so pause while ads are going. Got you. Yeah, I can do that. This will actually give me a moment to get to what I was trying to talk about anyway. What was I trying to talk about? Oh, yeah, one page dungeon? No, not one page dungeon. Oh wait, this is the D&D for middle schoolers thinking page. That was something we did first. One page encounters. Ah, that's the one. If I could spell encounters. Dang, maybe it's not over here. Hold on. I gotta find it. Is it here? Is it me, Jesus? Nope. That's not it. That's definitely not it. Is it here? Encounters. I'm gonna find it. Maybe it's on the device itself. Encounters. Ah, here we go. Found it. Found it. Okay. Isn't me? Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna head off. It's midnight in my area. Woo Asian things. Have a good one. Enjoy your sleeps, your restings. Okay, so this is kind of the one-page encounter that I want to make more of. Who is this? Peter Kuna made these and has highly inspired me. So I love the idea of breaking this down. Take care, bruv. Stay hydrated. Will do. Can do. But yeah, this is so I love the idea of it has what ad break's finishing now. Thank you, Saribot. Yeah, back. Shall we continue? Yeah, I was just, I was trying to find this because these are the quick encounters. This is what I'm basing all of the stuff that I want to do. I don't want this. I never want AI. I never want it. Go away. But yeah, so like these are the different kinds of things that I want to do for the kiddos. I want to make a bunch of these. But also, yeah, because this is simple, can be used in a small setting for my D&D kiddos. The other thing, like I said, for like I said, the cheat sheets, some of these are the ones that I think came from Wizards of the Coast, and they did a pretty good job. Is this one from Wizards? No. Maybe this one is. Trying to see. But it goes through different things, what you can do during your turn, what it needs, and what I have discovered with young people as well as neurodiverse folks. Hi, it's me. Why use many word when few word do trick? Why use many word when few word do trick? I want to make sure that like they know, like I just want them to have, what is this game? Is this it? This must be like a different, like that was for character creation. But I mean, there's like a lot of different, like there's just different stuff. There's different ways to help guide young folks and new players in general. I did this. I took different things from the D&D handbook and I tried to abbreviate it as much as I could to give to folks. That way, you know, because not all the kids, this was before I had access to D&D Beyond for the school. But I made it so it was small, like little small readings. Here's a little blurb. Here's what you're going to do. Here's what you're after. And it's all kind of chunked together. And I was going to have these printed out on cards so that the kids could kind of learn about it. But they caught on pretty quick. And many of these kids now play D&D on their own outside. Like several of the kids who were in my history class, or a lot of them were in the play and a lot of them were in the history class. It's a very small school. I hear from them as we're going on we take walks during the day. We've got like a nice little nature trail and they'll tell me about stuff that's going on in their campaigns and like the different things that they fought. And then they'll ask questions about what got confusing for them. So yeah, I'm happy that the kids are now getting it. But oh yeah, here we go. This was, This was the planning for this club. I can't believe that it's already been up a year. I can't believe we've done one. I wasn't sure how we were going to do XP. I've kind of left them all at level. I'm kind of keeping them all camped out at level 5. It was either 3 or 5. Actually, I think they're at 3. And I think that maybe each year they're in the club because we don't meet very often. Like, because some of the months we missed entirely, like Christmas, like we missed the month of December, getting back in January because of the play. It was like a whole bunch, like, like different things like that. So the club doesn't meet as regularly. I would love a club runner, but they're, it's tricky. Looked at like these one-page dungeons. I love this. This is someone created this generator. But that's the other hard part. We're not using minis. We're not using miniatures. We're not using like maps and stuff. I don't have time to put all that together. So like sometimes for like the this thing, it comes with a map that I can print out, but it'll be in black and white, We'll be in black and white. We won't. This is hard to see. Yeah. So that's kind of the thing. But yeah, this is great. I'll drop this tool for any D&D fans out there. This is a one-page dungeon generator. And then hold on, wait. Do I have it zoomed in? Yeah. So you're able to do this, and you're able to build based off of this, and I love it. And it just like refresh. And you get it. So you would want to screenshot the whole thing. And it even gives you the thing. For centuries, the catacombs of the Demon Queen were considered lost. Lately, they were squatted in by a gang of bandits. So like in room 1, a desiccated body of a bandit with an orb of death wish close to it. You can keep going down here. A large iron-bound gate at the southern wall. So that's here. A painting totally destroyed by fire. And then in room 3, I guess. Yeah, so I guess this might be a hidden door. And then if you go down here, a 4, an altar tells a story of a place when the candles tells the story of this place when the candles are lit. So you kind of go through, and then that gets you the kickstart to be like, okay, you're in this place, you see candles, So I love it as a kickstart. And then you can make them like really big. There's also, if I'm not mistaken, let me go back. They do it for others as well. So you can adjust. Where's the one where you can adjust it? Maybe they've put it so it's on there. Yeah. Oh, yeah. They get it so that you can have all of it listed here. So then they can see different things. You can get tags with it. I guess they've updated it more. Yeah, it's so great. It's so great. Another thing is that I'm a big fan, and I'm on their Patreon. Their scenes that they do here. I don't know how to pronounce the name. Zepiku? It's 2 people. I'm rejecting the cookies. Get away. I don't want cookies. I'll use a lot of these to get inspiration for places where we are. In fact, in my home game right now, and they have this on Alchemy. In fact, that's where I have all of their stuff because I'm subscribed. You can do it by like scenes, by Barren Wastes. They have theirs for the scenes. They also have maps that go with each of the scenes. So where are we now? Let me find the one that I'm using. Where are you at? Where are you at? Where are they at? Where are they at? Where are they at? It's in a desert. Oh, that's pretty. Hold on. Oh, that's lovely. Because then the thing is, you can get just the map itself. So you can subscribe with it. You can view it on Patreon. That's where I have most of it. But it also has like different versions of it depending on what your scene is. They've just done this. This might be a stupid question, but I'm going to ask anyway. Would you be the DM of all of this, or would you let your students take turns as DMs? they have to DM. I can't DM 20 people. I can barely DM my 6-person home game. Like I am hanging on by a thread and just with 6 people at a table. But I have several kids who are very interested in, I'm sorry, I'm in love with this art right now. I have several kids who are very interested in learning. That's why I've been working hard to make the uh, encounters. That's why I've been working to make some of these so that I can hand this off to a student who is wanting to learn. And that way, when the challenges come up and they're like not sure, they're like, hey, this thing has happened, they've done something unexpected, I can come over. So the DMs, so in that 55-minute session, I have somewhere between 12 and 20 kids in there. They get split up. I tell them no more than this many people at a table, and also shake up your adventuring groups. Sometimes you have the same groups that stay together, but hey, shake up the groups. These are some of the things that we're looking at. So maybe your entire party that is all tiefling rogues, I kid you not, every last one of them's a tiefling and they're either a rogue or a bard. Which is also, again, that's a future reel that's coming up soon. There's a whole table of nothing but tieflings. And the trope of kids who are the trope of the tiefling rogue or the tiefling bard and the exploration of identity, it's lining up. Like, I have my whole thing, like, because, here's your heads up for how some of these, yeah, Justin. And none of them know this about themselves yet. But I looked at them, and you're going to see this in the reel when I got to put something else in between and then do the reel. But it's going to be instead of the looking shocked at the, like, tiny chaotic evil character sheet that came my way, it's going to be looking there, and then I want to see if I can find that effect. You know that effect where it puts like 3 of you in one spot? I need to figure out how to do it. I don't know how to do the socials, but in my mind I can see it. My director brain is working, where it's like, hey, let me see your character, and then I want it to be like the 3 of them handing in the paper, and then I look at it, and on the captions it's gonna be teeth, and like on the captions for the kids, it's like the kids who don't know this about themselves yet. And then when I look, it'll be like tiefling, bard, rogue, chaotic good, like whatever their backgrounds are. And the anyway is gonna be pat anyway. it's the trope is so real. Same thing with the girl who I'm positive is going to be our valedictorian for that year. The valedictorian for that year is in the D&D club and is playing a hill dwarf life cleric. And I'm like, that is that high achieving thing. Clerics are high achievers by nature because it has that, please notice me. I'm doing this for the greater good. I'm not even really doing it for myself. I'm doing it for a greater good thing. And I'm like, I can sense it. The same with like the cool kid that you wish you were when you were in school. I adore this kid. Asked me incredibly politely. I was just like, hey, the D&D Beyond that we have doesn't have a Circle of Spores druid. I mean, I can get it myself. I can like make the character sheet on my own D&D Beyond. So because of this kid alone, I bought Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, not even with club money, though now I learned that we have club money. So I got to figure out what I'm going to do with club money, like probably getting more and more of the, like get some more of those sources so that it can be used for the kiddos. But yeah, and is 100%, because that's going to be its own reel. It's like, hey, can we get the source for like a Circle of Spores druid? I was like, oh, you have one in mind? And it is exactly what you think. Cute little gnome child with the big mushroom hat and the cute little braids. And I'm like, well, I have to do it now. I have to. You drew art of your character before you had your character sheet. What am I gonna do? Not support this? Oh, these kids have me in a chokehold. Like, they've got me wrapped around their fingers. Oh. And those days are so rushed and so busy. This can be for a later time, but I have a question about the rogue class. I've been trying to look online and have not been able to find the subclasses. What are those and would you recommend for a beginner? This can also be a question for Forever Justin GM. Hey, you know what? Let's just let's take a look. Now, are you playing 2024's edition or are you playing like still with 2014? Because you can use all of it. Updated July 3rd. What happened here? What is this? Oh, the arcane subclasses. That's right. So yeah, I'll say yes to 2024. Okay, cool. A lot of people are using a mixture of it. The whole point was that it's supposed to be back and forth. For example, if given the choice for healing spells, I'm going to use healing spells from 2024 without question because it doubles the amount of dice that you get for each healing cast. And I think the dice are bigger too. I think it goes from a D4 to a D6. And if not, it just doubles what you've got. I mean, we can look into it. Okay, so classes. Look for rogues. We're following the good vibes today. We're following where it goes. Okay, so there are some the basic rogue subclasses that are here. Arcane tricksters are like rogues with magic, like little magic sneaky mages. They have a list of spells that they can use. They get mage hand, so it's kind of like that. You can also, when you cast it, you can make the hand invisible. That's cool. I didn't know that about that one. Then you have the assassin. The cool thing with the assassin, here, let me make this a little bit bigger. I can actually see it's a little small. And then I'll move my head over here for this convo. Here we go. All right, so Arcane Trickster, unless you're I'm going to be so real with you, unless you're feeling like keeping track of spell slots, Arcane Trickster, if you're really wanting to cast spells, I would go with a different subclass. I would go with like, I would probably go with a Warlock. Hey, it's me, Mika. I'm lurking while I play Triangle Agency. Have fun. Thank you for lurking. Unless you're feeling like keeping track of spell slots, I wouldn't really do Arcane Trickster. I feel like you could do better by like multi-classing into something later on. Assassin, if you're starting at level 3, so do you know what level you're starting at? Are you starting at level 1 or are you starting at level 3 for your character? Not looking to cast spells till I'm comfortable with being a rogue warlock wizard. Absolutely. Okay, so then take Arcane Trickster and put that one on a shelf for now. So here's some of the cool stuff. Now, the tricky thing with D&D in general, and I say this with all the love in my heart, is remembering anything. Like remembering what you can do and remembering what you can do in the moment. Assassin is pretty cool. I find, so like whenever I play Baldur's Gate, I always end up, or up until Swashbuckler, level 5 starter, but it's canceled due to emergency. Okay. So what I would do as like a pretty straightforward starter, if you think it's going to be combat heavy, I would go with Assassin. And here's why. At level 3, because you're going to be up to level 5, you said? Yeah. At level 3, you get Assassinate. So in initiative, you have advantage on your initiative rolls. So whenever the DM says roll initiative, you get to roll the d20 twice and take the higher number. And that puts you further up in the running. So you get to act faster. Rogues also get, rogues get a lot of stuff. You get surprising strikes. So on your first round of fighting, your first round of combat, you have advantage on attack rolls against any creature that hasn't taken a turn yet. So this is why with Assassin, it's really cool. You're able to, number 1, try to go first. Number 2, If you're ahead of any of the other opponents and they have not taken a turn yet, your attack roll, your roll to hit them, has advantage. So you get a better chance at hitting them. So if your first one, like to hit them, is supposed to be a 10, you first roll a 9, and then you end up going into and then you roll like a 15. You're able to take that 15, so you're not just fumbling with it. So yeah, Mare spitting facts. Thank you, Alpha Technical. I don't know too many things, but again, I try and explain it in a way. Like I said, I have to explain how to play D&D to middle schoolers. So it's I'm not trying to treat anyone else as a middle schooler, but I like distilling it down to just facts. And then here's the cool thing. So if you start initiative and you are either hidden or you use your bonus action to hide, and then you move, and then you start to attack something, if they don't see you in your stealth check, your first attack on them is a sneak attack. So that means if you hit, you also get to do bonus damage. Assassin's my favorite one shot if it's combat based. Yeah, it is quick, it's easy, you get to roll better dice, you get to put yourself into a position where you're able to then perhaps help your other compatriots by maybe flanking someone, because I use flanking rules when I play. If you're, I love using that to be able to help each other. Because if I'm surrounded by a bunch of people, I know I'm at a disadvantage in just real life. So if your sneak attack hits any target during that round, the target takes extra damage of the weapon's type equal to your rogue level. So this means in addition to, they've not gone yet. Yeah, they've not gone yet. You've hidden, in a perfect world, you've hidden as your bonus action or as your cunning action, which you get to do as well, because rogues as a class, by this level, you will have cunning action. So your quick thinking allows you to move and act quickly. On your turn, you can take one of the following actions as a bonus action. So you can hide as a bonus action instead of an action. So hide, dash to go faster so you can move further, or disengage to be like, oh, snap, I don't want to fight you. And you like kind of bob and weave out of the way and you won't take opportunity attack damage, if I'm not mistaken. I don't play rogues very often, but when I do, I did this a lot with Astarion. Like I said, whenever I play Baldur's Gate, I put Astarion as this. And then, yeah, so basically the rogue class is all about how many ways can you get advantage and how can you put yourself in a better position to do it. If you're at level 5 like this, you're going to have Cunning Strike. So when you deal sneak attack damage, you can add one of the following Cunning Strike effects. So you can add something else. So I think this is newer stuff with it for me. Each effect has a die cost, which is the number of a sneak attack damage dice you must forgo to add the effect. So if you're like, I don't want to do damage on him, instead I want to trip him, I could do that. That seems to be what the deal is. You remove the die before rolling, so you wouldn't do the extra damage attack. The effect occurs immediately after the attack's damage is dealt. For example, if you use the poison effect, remove 1d6 from your sneak attack damage, so you're not dealing damage. But once that hits, you get to use that die. You get to use that die to cause the poison condition on them, which is great. Because then, if I'm not mistaken, that gives them disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks, which is awesome if you have someone who typically would hit you. And then you can just hope that they roll low and like keep getting them to take that lower roll. Same thing, trip. If they're large or smaller, they must succeed on a dexterity save or be prone. Don't forget to have a poisoner's kit in your inventory too. Right. So yeah, that would be definitely a flavor thing you want to make sure, and even trying to get proficiency in that too. Withdraw. Immediately after the attack, you move half your speed without provoking opportunity attacks. Okay, so that's pretty cool to see the updates on Rogue. I'll be so real, you guys. I have not read all the way through 2024. I like just read through Druid stuff for 2024 because that's the only game that we've updated that I'm playing in. I'm playing a Druid. So that was I looked through. Okay, so that confuses me, separating the damage. In Venture Forth, they do it and it confuses the heck out of me. Okay, so let's, we can set up a little example. because I just want to do this. Oh, you gain it. Oh, look. Oh my gosh. Hey, perfect. Mocha. Poisoner's Kit comes with proficiency. You get a Poisoner's Kit at level 3 and you have proficiency with it. So that already builds into it. That's incredible. Soul Knife. See, I loved reading the vibes on it. Jumping all over the place. No, that's totally fine. Well, Rumi Ellis, my half-elf Grove, is my first D&D character. So I need all the lessons I can get. Happy to help. So that confuses me, separating the damage. Okay, so think about it this way. You get to choose 2 things if you are hidden. All right. Your character, initiative has happened. Your first move that you're going to do is your cunning action to hide. And you're like, oh, snap. Right, right. And just John Cena out of the way. And you kind of scoot around because they're monologuing at your buddies. Your paladin buddies about to attack, all that, whatever. They didn't see you. You're tiny and cute. You got a little stabber with you. You come up behind him because you're hidden. All right, let me grab some dice here. I have dice. I have so many dice. Now it's like trying to pick which one. Okay. You're hidden here. So first things first, this guy hasn't attacked yet. So you get to roll 2d20 in order to see if you're going to hit him. All right. Excellent. So I rolled a 10 and a 1. So we're not going to use the 1. So we're going to use the 10. And let's say that, because, I haven't built this character. Let's say that you have like a +3. Or like maybe a +4 to it. So let's say that that's a 14. You have a 14, maybe their armor class is 13 because they're just like a little wizard guy just wearing a robe. And he's like, I'll get you, right? Whatever. You come up behind Wizard Man with your thing. You get to attack him. So you hit him. You beat his armor class. You're going to hit him. All right. Now we determine what damage this is. Yeah, I hadn't played a freaking rogue in forever. What is it? Isn't it sneak attack is 1d6? God. Let's say that you have a, I guess, and daggers are also d6s. What if we built the character? Yeah, so it's a d6 for your sneak attack, and then it's a d6. Lord, it's like, unless I'm looking at my own character sheet with it. Depends on your damage. D6 for sneak, D4 for dagger damage. Okay, let's build Rumi. I mean, we could absolutely do this, and I can send you the character sheet. That would be kind of cool. Yeah, okay, so it's a D6. If I were a D4, where would I be? Oh, I've got a bullet. I've got a bullet D4. It's not very roguey, but let's say, okay, so you got this plus there. Okay, you know what? Yeah, let's build. Sure, I like that. Because then we can see it. We can see it through there. My characters. Create a character. Cool. All right, we'll do the standard method and we're going to make it through 2024. That would help so much. Backstory is giving me major writer's block. And that's what I kind of like too, is like as you're building the character, like if your character, you're knowing like, unless you're coming in at, unless you're starting something at level 1. Like at level 1, it's kind of hard to pre-plan for a subclass, It's kind of tricky to pre-plan for a subclass if you're level 1. We will use some of the expanded rules, but I think we're going to go ahead and start making Rumi as an assassin. 46 sneak. Yeah. Oh, because I think it's by level, isn't it? It's like levels above 3. So sneak die on it, levels above 3. Again, I am so unfamiliar with 2024. Okay. So if this is a level 5, so then that would be 2d6 on sneak damage plus a die plus whatever weapon it is. All right, let's just go through and let's play with it. Let's build this. I love enabling dice rolling. I like using optional class features because you can find some fun stuff in there. We'll just do fixed for now because we're going to make the basics. Ignore coin weight. Here, I'll make this so it's public. And then I don't know if there's a way to transfer characters. I think you would have to like pick up the character in a campaign. But maybe that's something I can do. Maybe that's a thing I can do here with it. Okay, cool. So class. All right, so we're going to do a rogue. Add the class. Level 5, you said? I can give you what she looks like too. Yeah, let's come up with a character. Let's just make a little friend. Yeah, okay. Level 5, I think, is where you were. Okay. So Here's my favorite. This is technically from Cypher System, but it's one of my favorite ways to come up with a character concept. But it's also a great thing that I do in the theater classroom as well. I am a blank blank who blanks. I am an orphaned, or I am a brash fighter who uh protects the small. All right, so those are like the threes. You've got an adjective that describes how you are, like what your character's vibe is. You have what you do, your job, your occupation, and the why you do it, or like a trait about you. So am I a brat, or am I a gruff fighter who protects the small, or am I a funny fighter who protects the small? So those kind of descriptive words are great ways to get a concept for your character. And there's generators out there because Cypher System, because a gruff fighter who protects the small and weak would be more like The Witcher, right? So that would be more like The Witcher. I want to try and get the sentence. Cypher System character sentence, right? So it's a 3-part sentence. I am a adjective, noun, who, verb. I'm an adjective, noun, who, verb. So try and come up with a sentence there for me. Just the general vibe. Another thing I like doing when I'm character creating is I like combining 2 or 3 things that I enjoy to do that. So you watched Castleton, right? Or you watched part of it. My character Vera, I had to make a sentence that was like, um, or I did this character meets this character. I did, uh, oh, what was it? I did Charlotte Bingley meets Jon Snow. So Charlotte Bingley from Pride and Prejudice is all up in everyone's business, is secretly and subversively navigating society, and is working the system in order to get more advantages. So that's Charlotte Bingley's side of it. Vera's Jon Snow side was, I never knew my father, and just the familial distrust, the isolation, and everything there. So that was how I pulled my character together. That's how I pulled that together. Anyone else? So like Honey or Justin, do you have a sentence that could kind of model within that? Whether it's this meets this in this, kind of like how AJ came up with Castleton is Bridgerton meets Hunger Games in D&D. Yeah. So Rumi would be a tough rogue who wants to fight for a better future. Okay, cool. Yeah. My soul knife is Legolas meets Penelope Garcia. Yeah, this is the stuff. This is what it's about. So, so Rumi would be a tough rogue who fights for a better future. So with the adjective tough, what made her have to be tough, right? Did something happen? Did she end up, was she orphaned and she had to do that? I mean, that's always a go-to for it. But sometimes maybe they're wanting for a better future. Is she a rogue? And so she started stealing and pulling these other jobs to help her family that's financially suffering. Maybe she has a sick family member. Maybe she is in a lower class in the caste system. Or maybe even, I always love it, when someone was of a higher standing, they fell from glory. And then from that fall from glory, they're able to see the corruption in the system. And now they're using this as a way to change the world that they live in. So I love that. And I'm a big fan of tropes. Shari, my soul knife, is very cottagecore, spoiled youngest sibling. She's also multi-classed with Gloomstalker Ranger. Oh, I love that. I love that. I love that idea because I can visualize that with like someone who lives in like a rural setting, right? Someone who lives in the rural setting and doesn't want for much because of how they understand the world that they live in. So like a Gloomstalker Ranger, I think, isn't going to suffer for having to get food, right? Gloomstalker Rangers are pretty much the best hunters you can get. But then cottagecore is just like you're making light through it. I like to think of, growing up here in the South, I like to think of the redneck girls who hunt not to get the antlers on the wall, but because, hey, this is our year, we make venison, or they live on the farm and they have to help with, the butchering season with the hogs or with cows or whatever they have. Like they have to help with that. Their hands are bloodied, but not for the sake of causing harm. Their hands are bloodied for the sake of living, right? So yeah. So the way I envisioned her was she was hurt physically by her parents, causing scars on her arms, neck, and wrists. To protect her, her sister gave her an enchanted katana, her primary weapon. Nice. Oh, that's great. Okay, so we can work with something here. So now here's my question, full disclosure. If her sister gave her an enchanted katana to protect her, and it seems the parents are kind of involved in the harm that is taking place, whether directly or indirectly, could be through they're not doing the hard work of hunting and gathering like their basics, but now they're relying on their kids to do that, right? That in and of its own way is hard, right? She's very much not the typical edgelord rogue ranger. She's a happy person, loves her pastels. Oh, I love that. See, I wish that there was another name for Gloomstalker Ranger, because like it's, I think like Gloomstalker Rangers are the girls who hide out in the bathroom to hear the gossip. That's what it is. It's like Gloomstalker Rangers are not necessarily I'm in the bushes, but like they are like, Gloomstalker Rangers are there. You're going to look over the fact that I'm in a classroom I'm not supposed to be in. You're the kid in the class that class has started. You've been in there 20 minutes. You're kind of passing notes to your friend, and 20 minutes later, the teacher realizes you've been sitting in the class the whole time. I love that. But you're being like subversive within it, not in a like, this is dark and broody, but like a, oh no, I'm supposed to be here. Ma'am, he ordered the mashed potatoes. Right? I love that. I love that stuff. Because again, rogues have to be cunning. I think rogues need more charisma. Literally gave her the glamored studded armor to go with her flaw of unhealthily obsessed with her appearance. See, that's delicious flavoring. It is, but that's also why she chose to become a rogue. Her parents heard her that she needed to have this tough skin. Okay, so did she leave home? Because that could help her. So that could motivate. Okay, so let's just keep thinking through here. All right, so this is a great way also to start thinking about what is Rumi like? So what is she really skilled in? You get to pick 4 of these, right? Acrobatics, athletics, deception, insight, intimidation, investigation, perception, persuasion, sleight of hand, or stealth. So you say she's tough, right? Right? So if she's tough, then I might lean towards either athletics or acrobatics. Right? So if she's needing that, so which one are you thinking? So athletics are, you can't push me around. Basically, it makes you harder to shove, but also makes it easier for you to shove people away from you. That's a good one for it. Acrobatics to start, so that's 1. You get 3 more from that same list. Athletics, deception, insight, intimidation, investigation, perception, persuasion, sleight of hand. So you get to kind of pick. This kind of helps flavor the character, but also mechanically gives you what this character would be good at. Okay, intimidation, right? So she's tough. I like that she's tough, not just physically, but also maybe in the way that she gets what she needs, in the way that she defends herself and others, in the way that she does this. She's not going to sweet talk someone. She's going to say, you need to move out of my way, right? Nice. Next up. Yeah, it's hard to be it's hard to get scared if you're the scary one. I get you. That's cool. All right, so athletics, deception, insight, investigation, perception, persuasion, sleight of hand, and stealth. And also feel free to, like other folks, offer some suggestions if you've played a rogue before, especially in 2024. What are some of the things where it's like we end up using this a lot, and it would make sense for a rogue to blah 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 blah. I'm gonna give you one for free. I'm gonna give you one for free. Sleight of hand is like one of the rogue's mainstays. Whether or not you're unlocking a door, stealing something, or trying to like maybe send a message, like because they do have common sign language now. You always want to have stealthy and sleight of hand. You want to be the one that's able to creep around. So if you don't mind, I feel like stealth because she's trying to like get away from different things. If you don't mind, I am going to put stealth and sleight of hand here for you. I'm with Honey on this one. I'm with Honey Mocha here. You want that. Now you're at level 5. So of these 4 things, what are the 2 that you are absolutely best at? I'll tell you what I would pick, but that's just me. Comment box was kind of weird. What comment box? Yeah. I always put my first expertise scores there. Yeah, that's me too. Comment box. Yeah. Like, give me your suggestions. Yeah, I'm with Honey Mocha here. Stealth and sleight of hand. You want to be able to, especially if you use that hide cunning action, you don't want them to see where you are. So even as you're doing that cunning action, my comment box was to type. It was maximizing, so I was trying. Oh, gotcha. You'll get more expertise later. Yeah. We'll get to that later. So there's that. Okay, so then it tells you what you do for the sneak attack. Thieves can't. So here's a cool thing. So in addition, because of maybe your character has had to travel, maybe your character comes in contact with other cultures, we can go ahead, like, we know that you're a half elf. So when we get there, you're going to have Elvish. So don't worry about that. I'm going to be playing a level 1 Aasimar wizard with a scribe background soon. Nice. Yeah, the Aasimar, I've not gotten to play an Aasimar, but I've seen some of them played and it's really cool. I would, yeah. So what kind of world are you playing in? Just a note about 2024 rules that I despise. You do not automatically get your race's native language. What? That's wild. Here's what I would do. Here's what I would do personally. Okay? Because you get to pick languages under the ancestries now, but yeah. And you can tell me no. You can tell me no. This is your character, Renegade. This here comes in so clutch. Common sign language comes in so clutch. So clutch. This with a sleight of hand where you're at a dinner or something. If you're at a dinner or something and you need to give a message, yeah, you need to give a message, then sleight of hand, common sign language is pretty boss. And that in addition to thieves can't. So even though, yeah, so like Angry Meatball's right, doesn't always mean thief. An enforcer in the mafia who breaks kneecaps or a bookie in a racetrack fixing bets as much of a rogue as a cat burglar. Right. So like, let me look back at the sentence because we've been building these based off of sentences or archetypes, right? So like my character Vera in Castleton was Charlotte Bingley meets Jon Snow. And that was a lot more on her personal things and like how she moves through the world. Like Jon Snow was more of like her identity bit where she was isolated, didn't really have a familial connection, craved it, felt like separated from others, and then as a result continued separating herself from others. But Charlotte Bingley was working the system, understanding the world and everything. Absolutely. My 2 cents on stealth and sleight of hand being auto-picked. Yeah, I agree. That is fair. But that is, if it's your first time playing a rogue, that is going to be a thing that people want the rogue to do. But yeah, you make a completely valid point. So we can take a reconsideration at that if you would like. If you want to look at acrobatics or intimidation as well for your expertise. Yeah. I was going to select Celestial, but then I saw a character from Ventureforth do it. He's a flipping cleric, and then I researched it. That was a bust. Well, again, it depends on the world you're in. Clerics speaking Celestial makes a little sense to me because they are holy, like they're clergymen, essentially. Although I say that, and Delilah is a brothel madam and is a Twilight cleric because her deity is the Lady of the Evening. Change stealth to acrobatics? Yeah, absolutely. So stealth to acrobatics. Do you still think sleight of hand, or do you really want to be an intimidation? Because if it is like that intimidating sort of thing, like I can see that being the person who's like, you've got the knife stuck in you, and then you like add more intimidation to it. You can absolutely. A lady of the, yeah, so she's a lady of the evening. Like she's a twilight cleric that worships the lady of the evening. And she's also a 6'4" furbolg that's basically Dolly Parton with a shotgun. And I love her. Change it to intimidation. Absolutely. It's your character. You get to do that. I do think that these two are like key rogue traits. Because if you were going to go in another direction with this, like if she's feeling less stealthy and more like I'm going to punch someone, there are some barbarian classes and subclasses that could fit too. Because barbarian doesn't mean wearing rags and stuff, right? You know? Yeah. You know, oh my God, the cat's helping us. No, you wanted to get up on my lap. You wanted to get up on my lap. We're making this character now. You're helping me with D&D Beyond because you decided to scratch my chair. Yeah, Mama Cat's gonna help us. Let the cat help with Rumi. What a pretty, yeah, you can barely, hold on, let me get this to here. Little void girl. You don't want to be on camera. She wants to be in my lap, but doesn't want to be there. I think what she wants is on the desk, and she wants to play with the dice, but can't be a dice kitty right now. I'm using those. I'm using them. Let me go back. I know, what a baby. She's so bad. She wants by the window, but not right now because my coffee's over there. And I can't lose any more electronics to cat-induced coffee incidents. Let the kitty roll the stats. She rolls real bad, guys. Trust me. All right. So, but yeah, this is a good one. My wizard Xeon knows Draconic and Elvish as well as Common. He's very intellectual. Yeah, I think we can go through and look at some of my character builds in a little bit, but let's get Rumi built first. Okay. So Common Sign Language. All right. Weapons Mastery. This is the cool stuff. Yeah, this is where some of the stuff is different in 2024. So the cool thing, I like it, and I think that I think Weapons Mastery in 2024 makes the fighter so much more fun to play. I've just played I played a fighter, I played a Rune Knight recently, and I played I played a cleric, but playing a fighter and now getting to deal with weapons mastery is kind of fun. Okay, so training with weapons allows you to use the mastery property in 2 kinds of weapons of your choice in which you have proficiency. Whenever you finish a long rest, you can change the kinds of weapons that you choose. So katana, yeah, I think that for the katana, it's going to end up falling under longsword. It would either longsword or scimitar. Let me actually... Katana type of sword. Single blade, and it's a it's typically used two-handed, but it's a long sword. Yeah. Cool. So, all right. So then we will do long sword for that. The cat is being so weird. All right. So long sword does this. So this is a cool thing now with 2024's. Long sword, now that you have weapons mastery in this, if you're using a longsword, if you hit a creature with a longsword, that creature has disadvantage on the next attack roll before the start of your next turn. So if your rogue does like we were talking before as the assassin, like using the assassin subclass, especially because this is a one-shot, right? So we don't want to get too into the weeds. We just want to know the basics of what we can do for a one-shot, right? So what you could, in an ideal situation, you roll initiative. You're rolling advantage. So you have a chance at being the highest initiative there. As an assassin, your trait will allow it so that anyone else who has not gone yet, you now have advantage to hit them. If you're hidden, you now have sneak attack damage. But also, you can choose whether or not you want to, instead of rolling 2d6, I'm going to only roll 1d6 for that sneak attack damage and poison them at the same time. So instead of rolling 2d6 to inflict extra damage, I'm doing damage and poisoning. And then on top of that, because you also hit this thing, that creature, the next time it attacks before you do your turn again. So even if it doesn't attack you, it has to roll at disadvantage against anyone else that it attacks. So in one hit, you just stabbed this thing real hard out of nowhere for it. It's shocked. It's bleeding. Ow. Oh my gosh. I'll get you, my pretty. And is going to try and swing at something. And even if that thing rolls a 20 or a 19 or a 20 on the die, and then it rolls a 2, it has to take the 2 and will miss that attack more than likely. So it's pretty cool. Second weapon mastery, any suggestions? If your character has any sort of background where they hand crossbows. Actually, hold on, I'm scooting around real quick because I can't remember what our proficiencies are for half elf. Ooh, that's the tricky part. Are half elves underneath the elf category now? We may have to use the old, because that's just a regular elf. So we may have to use the old, we may have to go down here to where half elf is. Oh yeah, and then that's another thing for us to consider. Yeah, no more half races. Yeah. I like to use Nick melee weapons as a rogue. Nick gives a second attack as its action. Ooh. That would be cool. Because, I mean, even though the katana is typically done two-handed, I don't think it's required to be two-handed. It can still be a versatile weapon. Right? Yeah. So there are different types of half-elves. So wood half-elves, high half-elves. So high elf is going to be there. Shara uses a scimitar. Oh, yeah. I love a scimitar. Drow half-elf, aquatic half-elf. So these are some of your options. I don't think there's anything further down. These are the core rules. The core rules for half-elf. Let me go back down further. See, so much has changed, and then I have so many other sources. So yours shouldn't look like this. Let me take a look. Why aren't you letting me do the drop down? Oh, because it doesn't have the drop down on that one. Yeah, so let's just go back here. We'll do this half elf. What kind of half elf are you thinking? They don't come with choices. Ah, that's right. Okay, well. Oh, yeah, because I have Sword Coast. Well, then let's just do the regular half elf from 2014. I've been playing too much Baldur's Gate, you know. It's a lot. If we go half elf, I'm thinking drow or aquatic. Yeah, so you could do that. I think that, how about let's leave it like this. Let's do it for simplicity's sake so that we can get, because you're going to get proficiency in 2 more skills. You're going to pick another language. You can read, write, and Common, Elvish, and 1 extra language of your choice. So let's just go with the standard one. What's another language? Because we know we already have Common Sign Language. What is another language? Let's just kind of pick from these guys up here. Because there's too many other things that will not necessarily be, that may not necessarily be relevant to the game you're playing. Hello, fellow D&D players. Hello, Doji Mono? Doji Mono? Mind if I call you Mono? Welcome in. Hold on. Getting a call. Okay. See, why didn't they change the language choices in 2024? It makes no sense. Yeah. All right, cool. Thank you. I'm just trying to think of what might make some sense. I don't know. Because it would depend again on that background. Like if Rumi grew up, they want half drow undercommon makes sense. Yeah, let's do that. That's smart. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Let's do undercommon then. That way, if they're half drow, but we're still doing it in this instead of mechanically using Sword Coast or anything. DMing my first campaign tomorrow, so I've been pondering for a few hours on the story. Oh my goodness. So are you doing just a one-shot? Or are you doing a one-shot, or are you starting a longer story? That's so exciting. Oh, that's an exciting time. Let's see, you know. Helping chat build their first character. Helping a chatter Or just, building characters, chatting D&D. Hey, hopefully starting a longer story. Oh, Dojimano, thank you for the follow. And that is very exciting. Draconic. Fascinating. Yeah, welcome to the DM club. Oh, it's so good. Makes sense to me in the same way that I'm Welsh ancestry, but that doesn't mean I know Welsh. It makes more sense not to stereotype races as automatically knowing their ancestors' language. Not angry, just explaining. I totally get you. I mean, it's this. I understand as well. So I'm half Puerto Rican, but I grew up in North Carolina. I had to take 3 years of Spanish in high school and then 2 years of it in college, and I still struggle because I'm culturally not very connected to my Puerto Rican side. However, once I do come across, when I talk with my family there, or even like reading certain labels, I may not speak it in my household, but when I do come across other Latin folks by proximity, a little bit of that language is there. So maybe you're not proficient. Maybe you've got like a handful of, I can read this, I can understand this, but no, but I mean, it's like if you're Welsh ancestry, but it doesn't mean I know Welsh. No, looks like that. I'm garbage at voices. My players still love me. Hey, here's my, I don't want to call it advice because that's not what I'm trying to do with it. I think that if you have traits and not voices, right? So if you're playing a character, if you're DMing a character that's like very like anime kid, like, oh, I don't know, mister, right? Like you don't have to do the voice. Give them a couple of words or catchphrases. Yeah, but not automatically have it. Well, we have to wait for Renegade to come back. We can't really do much more with this character until Renegade comes back from their phone call. All you need is the bartender voice and the villain voice. And that's also another great thing too. Instead of we'll just wait for choose a language then. Yeah, I like doing like a trait of like, like, oh, scratching the back of the head, or oh, I don't know, golly gee, guys. And for me, and it's my acting background, it's the theater part of me. Physically, even when I'm in D&D, I'll like try to work with my expression as opposed to doing a voice for someone. Maybe the way that they speak, as opposed to the accent or something. And like, oh, well, down yonder, that's where they are. Instead of having to go full-fledged, I'm speaking down in my North Carolina Southern accent down here. Head on down the way. You're going to turn left by the apple tree and stop when you hear the bees, right? You could have them go, oh, yeah, you're going to turn down a little bit that way and go and I think you'll hear some bees. And if you hear that, you've gone too far, right? Being able to go for that. 3-minute ad break. It says it's starting, but then it says the ad break. There, that. Hear me out. And Draconic, being a rogue assassin, she's probably traveled a lot, so she's probably picked up on a language or two hearing Draconic. Absolutely. Yeah, let's go with Draconic. Sweet. Especially if that's maybe a fascination, right? I have no Japanese or Korean heritage, but that's not stopped me from trying to learn some of the words in that language to understand the art that I enjoy. Ads. I know. Sorry for the ads. Should have heard me trying to sound like a gruff orc bartender, his snotty high elf buddy in the same conversation. Yeah, I do that. And I'll wait for us to come back from ads. But yeah, when I do that, sometimes it's as simple as turning your head. Not necessarily doing a voice. The folks on Critical Role are professional voice actors. In fact, I had a moment recently where I was watching clips of it. I've never actually sat down and watched it. Also, please give me an idea to deal with my min-maxer friend. Oh, okay. I can help with that too. Because I'm relatively new to DMing, but I've been playing for a long time. And I'm a teacher by trade, so this whole stream started off as me planning stuff for my middle school D&D club for when we get back. I think, and a lot of it comes down to yes and, right? So, okay, you do this. this is also an outcome of something that happens, right? Just because they get to pop off the perfect combo for their assassin rogue like we're planning. Let's do that. So are you talking about min-maxing during character creation or during gameplay? Like have they, what kind of a, tell me about the character that they've made. Like that. Okay, back. Welcome back. So yeah, Mono, tell me about the character that they've made while we continue working on this. Okay, so here's the cool thing as well. So, we'll go back to the other things. I did just want to kind of see, because I think that you get, well, where's the one? Is it the background that you get your proficiencies in? It gives you proficiencies, right? Yeah. My advice for that is be mean. You can say no. You can say no to certain calls for sure. Or like, hey, you can certainly, you know, the phrase, you can certainly try. Yeah. Well, his characters in the past have been all sorts of barbarian characters, and I believe the vampire is, the character is going to be some sort of vampire, but he mostly min-maxes classes and stats. Hey! So then here's what I would suggest. If there's a couple of stats that they want to have excellent and super cool and very powerful, give them a devil's bargain. Yeah, you can have that. However, I need you to take an extra flaw. I need you to take, I need you to, you know, underneath these notes, I need you to declare a group that doesn't like you. I need you to come up with a flaw that's a little more personal within it. Because then, or hey, you may be all really cool and stuff. What was it? I loved the, it was the clip. Oh my gosh, get out from there. Get out, get out. No, no, no. Oh my God, get out, get out. 1 second, guys. I'm so sorry. Get out from that. No. I also love the idea that, what was it? It was, oh, why can't I remember her name? Red hair, True Blood. Red hair from True Blood. Does D&D. Ah, brain cells. Yeah, the cat is also being a distraction too. She was in a starts with a D. Deborah Ann Wall. There we go. Deborah Ann Wall was doing something where like it's okay to have really, really low stats in certain areas. For example, there was like a prince who thought he was super charismatic, but his charisma score is actually really low. He just lived in a super privileged world where everyone was like, oh, you're so funny, you're so clever, you're so charming. And they had all been lying to him. And now he's out in the real world. So yeah, I think mostly it's the personalities. It's going to be how they play at the table and getting them on board with the, yes, that's fair. However, this also happens, right? Not in like a vengeful way, but in a no character's perfect. We didn't come here to play with Mary Sue's. Okay, let's go back to the class. Weapons mastery. Second weapon. We need another weapon that's going to give you something cool. Honey Mocha, or so Renegade. Honey Mocha offered an idea in the chat about weapons that have nick. So like a dagger, just to show you what nick does. With a dagger, when you make an extra attack of the light property, you can make it as part of the attack action instead of the bonus action. You can make this extra attack only once per turn. So it's a little extra attacking, more damage. Now, I will say that it is kind of hard to like hold a longsword and then be like, also here's my dagger. I think you can do it with short swords and whatnot. So I have characters who have done dual short swords, kind of like Legolas style long knives. And then it's also if someone disarms you and you don't have your katana, like it gets flung across the room, you can pull a dagger out because everyone would have like a dagger on the belt. That's what I would, that's what I would think of. That way you don't waste your cunning action getting your bonus action. Yeah, so you just get more moves, ultimately. It's pretty cool. Like I said, I haven't looked at all of the features for it, but the features in this that I have, I like. Yeah. Your players can do it, so can you. Yeah, let's do that. Excellent. All right, now your subclass. We talked earlier about Assassin. There are other ones that are here. Arcane Trickster would be dealing with spells, and you said that you're not really wanting to deal with spells, which I totally understand. Assassin Soul Knife has some like ghosty stuff in it. Thief has a lot more with like things like reducing fall damage as like, you know, because think about like what a thief is doing, right? A thief is like climbing into your windows, stealing your stuff. Assassin, yep, because we've been talking on it. Perfect. Great. So then other things that you get, steady aim now. So in addition to the stuff there, steady aim, as a bonus action, you give yourself advantage on your next attack roll on the current turn. You can use this feature only if you haven't moved. After you use it, your speed is 0 until the end of your current turn. So this is also gives you just, again, as a bonus action, if you were there, you just stabbed someone, right? They're standing there and like flailing around trying to hit other people. If you haven't moved, you can use that bonus action as steady aim and give yourself on the next attack roll. And give yourself, what am I saying? Self advantage. And we talked about surprising strikes. You now have Assassin's Tools. Now here's, we're going to skip this part here until we get to the next bit. You have Cunning Strike, which is the one where we said by now I think you would have 3d6. So if you have 3d6 where you're, is it 3d6? Double checking. Let me actually look at sneak attack because I want to make sure I'm not giving wrong information now that we're here. Extra damage increases as you gain rogue levels as shown on the sneak attack column of the rogue features table. We'll have to look at that in a minute. But it'll tell you on your character sheet, especially if it's digital. If I'm level 5, it's 5d5. Nope, it would be above what it is, I think. I'll double check. It'll show us what it is. 5d5 is wild. Or 5d6 is whoa. I think it's above a certain one, but we will double check once we get it all done. Because I, again, haven't done anything with 2024 like this. This is the best thing about being level 5, my friend, as a rogue. This is incredible. This is my favorite thing about it. When an attacker you can see hits you with an attack roll, you can take a reaction to have the attack's damage against you rounded down. So each like round of combat, you get your action, bonus action, like a free action of, hey, look out behind you, you know, interact, pull the lever cronk, you know, different things like that within it. You have different things like that, but you also have a reaction. So normally reactions are if the enemy is moving away from you, your reaction is to take an attack of opportunity. You get an extra slash at them. That's usually the people's reaction. Warlocks have it where if they have that, they get hit. At level 10, I only have 4. So it's like, yeah, I thought it was scaling, kind of like spell slots. Yeah. I don't know. I have not looked at the chart. So real with you. But this means that, like, so warlocks will have things like Hellish Rebuke, where if they get hit and damaged, then they get to do damage back, right? It's like you punched me, but now your hand kind of catches on fire. So that's a reaction. So in this, everyone gets a chance to take a reaction during this bit, usually like an attack of opportunity. But as a rogue, you can uncanny dodge. Yeah, it's good stuff. Cool. All right, so there's that. Before we get into abilities and stuff, this is kind of cool to do with the background. This may also give you a little more inspiration for more of your characters' not necessarily backstory, but how they move through the world. I think this is a great way of like how they move through the world with it. So like, you know, so a bard may be an entertainer. A rogue could be an entertainer, right? So like an entertainer may be someone who is like a dancer or a busker. Like they do that, but they're also maybe they're a magician. They're like doing little street tricks. Uh, so for my favorite thing, the one that I use for my druid, right? So this doesn't have to be yours. But for my druid, her job where she was is she helps navigate people through these treacherous areas. She gets hired in, she does that, and that's kind of her job until she gets swept away to Barovia, and now she's having to deal with Strahd. So she's struggling out there. But so for her, she came of age outdoors, far from settled lands. Your home was anywhere you choose to spread your bedroll. There are wonders in the wilderness, strange monsters, pristine forest streams, overgrown ruins of great halls trod by giants. You learn to fend for yourself as you explore them. So from time to time, you guided friendly nature priests who instructed you the fundamentals of that. So you basically go through and learn that. So you get survival. So this is my character. I'm just showing you how it works for this. And then something else that she would be good in, maybe she needs another, if she hasn't already taken nature or medicine, she would take that. She would get more bonusy stuff, so she gets more spells, and then she gets to update her score, her abilities. So let me see what I was thinking about this one. I was thinking soldier. I feel like Rumi wouldn't be good for entertainer. Yeah, right, exactly. So there's soldiers. Let's see. Yeah, so a soldier. There's also like a guard. So guards, your feet ache when you remember the countless hours spending at your post on the tower. You were trained to look outside of the walls, watching for marauders. Your other eye is looking inside the walls, searching for cut purses and troublemakers. So this is like someone who's always at attention, always looking. And as a result, you would get athletics and perception. Then you get a gaming set. This is a cool thing that comes with guard, which I think, and again, we'll look at soldier as well, but based on how you were saying your character is like, I'm not going to be intimidated again. Nothing's going to come after me again. Being on guard within that, with alert, you gain the following benefits. Initiative proficiency. When you roll initiative, you can add your proficiency bonus to it. So when you roll initiative, which we've already discussed that as an assassin, you get to roll at advantage. You now get to roll at advantage and add your proficiency bonus to it. Bigger number probably going first. You can also, if someone else rolls higher than you, you can swap your initiative with that of someone that you want. If you can't make the swap with you or the ally, you can't make the swap if you or the ally is incapacitated. So yeah. So especially with your assassin subclass, this could be really good to this could be a really good thing to help with that. But we'll still look at soldier as well. And then you'll boost up the ability scores. We're going to do ability scores in a minute. You also get to choose a gaming set, which, do you want to play darts or dice or, dragon chess and playing cards? Because that's also a great way for you to build community. Have alert on Shari. She has advantage and a +10 to initiative. It's gross and fun. Exactly. Yeah, it's disgusting is what it is. But if we look at soldier, so soldier gets skill proficiency in athletics. You get to choose another skill to be proficient in. They get savage attacker. You've trained to deal particularly damaging strikes. Once per turn, when you hit a target with a weapon, you can roll the weapon's damage twice and use either roll against the target. So this is more for attacking. Like if you're really wanting to deal massive amounts, like you're screaming with your sword in the hand, like that would be a lot within this one. So Savage Attacker allows you to just like this. Again, that's kind of the cool thing. But then I challenge you. I challenge you to think of kind of on this end, what do these words mean? How did your character become a guard or a soldier or a wayfarer, right? So like you grew up on the streets surrounded by similarly ill-fated cast-offs. A few of them friends, a few of them rivals. You slept where you could, you did odd jobs for food. At times when the hunger became unbearable, you resorted to theft. Still, you never lost your pride, never abandoned hope. So insight is like checking out a person. Like what that is. Insight, you get a skill, you get a new tool. So like cartographer's tools allow you to make maps and stuff, etc. Then you get the lucky feat. A BRB have animals you have to tend to. Gotcha. Savage attacker comes in handy if you tend to bottom roll damage a lot. Yeah, so like if your damage is not, you don't have a very powerful like weapon that deals damage, you can like double up the D4 that a dagger is. So if you have like a bunch of daggers. But I think, like I said, I like the vibe of your character having like the katana. I think that's really cool. But luck points. So here's the thing. You have a number of luck points equal to your proficiency bonus and can spend the points on the benefits below. So you'll have a number of luck points. Basically, you can give yourself advantage. So if you roll something and it goes very bad, if you roll one and it goes very bad, you can spend a luck point and roll it again. You can spend a luck point as well to impose disadvantage on someone who rolled very well. It's cool. I oftentimes when I have lucky, I forget I have it. That's just me. Like you might be like, I'm lucky. I got good lucks. Ooh, okay. If you had to recommend one for Rumi, which would you say? From the way you've described Rumi so far, I would think guard, mostly because the way that she was described of like, I will not be harmed again. That I think just does that where it's almost like because of everything that she's been through, she would want to maybe use the skills she's learned to protect herself, to protect others. And don't know who you're playing with. This could also be a cool connection that you could build with a character that maybe is a merchant or a noble. Or maybe that's part of your connection getting into this game, getting hired in it. If you have a buddy at the table and they're playing a princess, like maybe you're the princess's bodyguard, right? Yeah, I like it on the story end for doing that. Same thing with Soldier. Like if she had gone and like to get away from her family and everything, she went and served in the military for a bit or served with a mercenary group. She'd be able to like gather those skills. So that's like where I'm thinking on it. Like I never asked how old Rumi was too, but that's for half elves that's neither here nor there sometimes. Okay, so guard. I think like I personally would be, do you have a preference on your gaming set? Sometimes it comes into play, sometimes it doesn't. Like I always like using this as like if we have downtime around a fire. Funny enough, the Gathering Place said that one shots are perfect for beginners, but after I'm thinking about keeping rooming for long. Yeah, so there's a really cool thing, especially if you go to conventions ever. Let's go darts. I love that. If you go to conventions, they have something called the Adventurers League, where you can take your character with you. And it's like they've kind of run in this mercenary thing. So you can keep the same character and play it at different tables. You just have like, there's some sort of setup for like keeping track of everything. I've not really done it, but I have used Adventure League modules to do that. Yeah. Okay, cool. So I think just from the way you described her, and I love that this gives you athletics and perception as well. Because again, that idea of where she was saying she liked intimidation and liked acrobatics. I love the idea of athletics. Like she feels like she could dig her heels into the ground, like really, take a stand, not get shoved, but also do enough to like, hey, back off, like, and shove someone else away too. Athletics is also great for things like climbing stuff and like jumping over fences. A lot of times what you'll have is you'll have different characters who are some of them are dexterous and it's like, hey, I need to jump over this ravine. And so a character that's very dexterous is like, may I use acrobatics to backflip over it? So that way they can use their better stat. Whereas an athletics person is just gonna and just jump and run. You can have fun having that conversation with your DM. Every DM has had that conversation with players at their table. All right, so did this. Okay, so we've got pretty much class done. We'll do ability score improvements in a minute. We'll do ability score improvements there. Skill versatility. Okay, so now you get to pick 2 more of those skills. So now you see the ones that have the parentheses on it. That means you already have it with these. So you don't need to pick those there. But there's other sorts of things. You get to pick 2 more things that you have proficiency at, meaning that when you roll for those, you're going to have a higher modifier. So you roll like a 13 like I did, but now because you're proficient, you have to add your proficiency bonus to it too. So instead of it being a +2, it might be a +4. So now instead of having a 15, you have a 17. Just gives you better stuff. So your options are, okay, I know one would be medicine. Any suggestions for the other? Let's see. So you have animal handling, arcana, deception, history, insight, investigation, nature, performance, persuasion, religion, survival. Survival in this case is a lot of like camping outdoors. How do I make sure that how do I look for, like, it's typically used for things like camping outdoors. Can you find this in Baldur's Gate? It's you walk around and you're like, huh, what's that over here? And you dig that. Insight is, can you read a person? I love insight. Doing an insight check on someone for me is I'm looking at them going, they're saying it's nice to see you, but do they really mean it? I like that. Investigation is actively searching for something. Perception, which you already have here, is like, I'm, hey, what's that shiny thing over there? I have perceived this. History, if your character is familiar with an area, you may be like, if you live in a city, and someone mentions a name, you may do a history check on it to see what you know about the area, the person, the situation. Hearing you say good things about insight makes me lean a lot towards that. Yeah, because insight can be, I like insight because I can sit there and if I roll well, like someone is saying something and I'm like, I don't think I believe you. But again, we don't want to just be 100% skeptical all the time because the DM has probably set up stuff so that you can. But that, you might get a secret. You might see them like fidget with their hands when they're talking about this, or you might see them blush a little bit. You might get just a little extra of something. That's what I like doing with insight. All right, abilities. Okay, friend. Oh, here we go. There are several ways to go about getting your ability scores. Did your DM tell you a certain way they wanted you to roll your ability scores? Meow, back at you. Are you wondering where he is? You are? Can you hear her? Because I can hear. Yeah? Uh-huh. Let me see if she's out of food real quick. So here's the basics. These are the things you need. No, I've been doing research in the book and YouTube. Great. Then we'll just do a simple method with it when I come right back. I've got to see if she wants food. Is this what it is? Are you out of food? Are you out of food? The cats have two the cats have 2 bowls that are right next to each other, and whenever one of them you see the bottom of it, they start freaking out. Well, one bowl was completely full. The other one was empty. So, yeah. All right, now I've been doing research on the book and YouTube. Okay, what I've been doing is rolling 4d6 and adding the 3 highest. Yes, so that is something we can do here. The good news, like D&D Beyond allows you to do it built in. So, have you rolled some stats already? Like, what numbers did you have? Or I can show you what it means by rolling them here. Otherwise, I can just show you since you're telling me that's how you've been doing it, there's other ways to do it. Standard array kind of does the meaning of it. So it does 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, and 15. So it has those, and then you just spread those out. I usually do that with pre-made characters for my students. That way everything's pretty evenly balanced. When I go through and I look at some of my students' numbers, when they give me a character, and I'm like, wow, that's a lot of 18s. I've written them down, but the book is downstairs. Well, how about this? For this one, I'll go ahead and put them in here. And then once I give you this character sheet, I'll send this to you. I'll send you the, I'll send it to you on Discord because I think we're in some of the same Discords. I'll just drop the PDF to you. And then you can fill the PDF out, like the front page. You can like refill that out manually so that you have your numbers in there. Okay, so let's just look what manual and rolled would be. All right, let's pray. Let's pray to the dice gods. I'm not gonna lie, I give myself 3 chances. I do give myself 3 chances. Just because, again, I've rolled some bad ones. So we're gonna do, or you know what? Let's do it like this. We'll do it 6, and then we'll roll 2 more, and then because that's what what was it? It was, and then we re-roll anything with 1s in it. So if it rolls 1s in it, I think that was what it was. I'm trying. Let me go and see what it was because I'll tell you what the rules were for when we were rolling up our Wild Magic West characters. Let's see. Okay, rolled 3 sets. Pick your favorite set. So we roll 3. We don't get to mix and match. Can I tell you the category if I tell you to re-roll? Yeah, sure. Yeah. So here's what we're going to do. So we're going to roll these 3 groups and we're going to pick the best group. We're going to roll it 3 times because I'm looking at like what Whitney gave us when we were making our characters. Ugh. Okay, here we go. 12. Nice. Not bad. Not bad. 15. Okay. 10. All right. Yeah. 12. 7. Ugh. We're yeah, I can tell you we're not going to use this one as much. All right. So that's group number 1. All right. Group number 2. Ooh, that's looking nice. Okay. Oh my gosh. Oh. Okay. This is a beautiful set here. Now, I love ones where we have really high numbers and really low numbers in them too, because I love like adding flaws to my character. That's who I am. But we're going to do the rules. We're going to roll 3 of them. We're going to pick our favorite. 13. Okay. 10. Not bad. 15. Okay. 12. Ooh. 11. 18. Oh. Ooh. Okay. See, this is where I get it. This is why I can't go to Vegas again. This is the stuff where I can't go to Vegas. Yeah. So group 3 is very, very nice. Yeah, because even though these are a little more middling, like, you know, it's a better average. So the cool thing is you have no negatives. That's kind of cool. That's pretty nifty. What I don't know if do you go and watch Ren's streams too? Because I know when I talked with Ren and was watching hers, she'll sometimes like take the 10 and bump it down to an 8 to add flavor to the character, right? To like add that like, there's the thing, they're not the chattiest one, or like, hey, they don't have stamina. You know, I do sometimes. It's been a while too. Yeah. Okay, so now, so group 3 is what we're thinking, right? So again, I would say groups 2 and 3. 3 is the winner. Okay. All right. So let's get the other ones out of here so we don't get tempted again. Delete and delete. Cool. Okay, now, because we're going to go back and do something a little different. Because remember all those other ability scores that we had where we have to do that. Okay, so are you familiar with strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma? Are you familiar with what they are? Okay, cool. All right. Yeah, I'm back. What did I miss? We just rolled this. I do it with like some of my the AP friends that we have, where we rolled 3 sets and we take our favorite set. So this is a pretty good, yeah. Never tank con. I know, yeah. I think because Constitution. I'm back. I just had to do something real quick. Welcome back. Okay, so these are our ability scores, and we've not added any of the modifiers to on the other sections. So this is like our baseline, and then based on the jobs and different stuff. Dex highest for rogue, but do not tank your con. Yeah. So dexterity is the rogue's primary, like it's based on what they do. Yeah. So yeah, so let's kind of look at that. So if it were me, and you don't have to listen to me, I'm just the streamer. I'm just here talking to no one alone in a very hot room. Like talking to no other, well, I do, okay, I was about to say nothing else with a heartbeat in the room. That's a lie. It's there. Yeah. So yeah, I would agree that most of your abilities, including your attack rolls, your attacks are based off of dexterity. So that would be what I would put there. Same. 18 dex, cool. So you agree. 18 dex, 15 con. Constitution is what gets you your hit points, which I think tracks for your character. The idea of toughness, how much of a hit can you withstand, or how much, like, if you ate a poison thing, how much of that can you withstand? A blast of strong air without getting shoved, you know, like that kind of stuff. So Constitution's good. Now these ones you kind of get to play with character choices with it. Yeah, strength 18 because you took expertise in athletics. Yeah, I think that would be good because then we can also add some of our other ability scores, our ability modifiers. We can add that to strength as well to bump it up to 14. Because on 10, 12, 14, 16, so no, 10, yeah, on 10, 12, 14, 16, and 18, and 20, it goes up. Like, it goes up a +1 on each of those. You'll see it once we get into the thing. Yeah, Honey Mocha is thinking very similarly to what I've got going on. Rumi's a tough character, same with Honey. 13 in strength. Welcome in, Count Swagula. Welcome in. All right, so 13 for strength, I agree. 12 for charisma. I do think, because charisma is not just smooth talking. Charisma in this case is also going to be how scary you are. I like to think of charisma rolls, whether it's intimidation, persuasion, deception. Charisma rolls always give me the like anime shot. You know, like whether it's the anime person and their like face is like, or if it's the anime shot where they're just kind of like, you know, it's the best name I've ever seen on Twitch. I agree. Let's do 12 for that one. Cool. All right, now the difference between wisdom and intelligence. Wisdom, I've always known as the way I think of it is street smarts. Wisdom is, I believe, things like nature, different things. Survival is survival might be intelligence, or I can't remember. Anyway, wisdom, street smarts. The way that what is it? It's the abilities score tomato metaphor. Open image in new tab. Abilities. Damn. All right, abilities. Strength is being able to crush a tomato. Dexterity is being able to dodge a tomato. Constitution is being able to eat a rotten tomato. Intelligence is knowing that a tomato is a fruit. Wisdom is knowing not to put tomato in a fruit salad. Charisma is being able to sell a tomato-based fruit salad, aka salsa. So that's I love this. I love this for like getting you for like, what kind of check is this? So yeah, int knowing fact, wisdom knowing how to live a life. So wisdom survival. Yep. So this, I think, in the sense of book smarts versus like things that you know as fact, right? Like, I know that, I know kind of how to get through the streets. I don't know the exact equation for how to throw this thing, right? Yeah. Intelligence is 10. Yeah, cool. So intelligence is 10 and wisdom's 11. Great. Cool. So apply the ability scores. Now, some of these things are going to get modified in a moment because we have other things about our character that we need to adjust. Survival, perception, and insight are all wisdom, which is great. So that means that once we go back here to your species, no, to your background, hey, remember your background, you get to boost up. You can boost up some of your ability scores from here. So when we went back and looked here, right? Let's go back and look at abilities. Right now, strength is at a 13, which makes it a +1. If it goes to a 14, if you boosted it up to a 14, you're going to get to add 2 as a modifier to all of your rolls that would involve strength. Or like you get to add that to strength rolls, whether that's also athletics, which you get boosts in because of expertise and stuff too. So you get to do that. Same sort of thing. So just keeping in mind with the stats we have here, odd numbers mean you're like 1 away. But if you wanted to like really get dexterity, you could put dump 2 there. Do 3 at 1, strength, con, whiz. Yeah, because look at the ones that you have in odd numbers. It's okay. Ideally, you'll have some sort of nerd in your party as well. A lot of people playing D&D will play a nerd. So you can trust that maybe the nerds would do that. So here, do you mind if I go through and do it as an example for you real quick? And then we'll go back. So let's do it as an example. So let's say that we did it, and I think that this automatically will do it too. Because of the guard background, it has to go into strength, intelligence, and wisdom. All right. Or we could boost something up by 2 and go that way. All right, so. Yeah, so now that we've adjusted that, let's take a look back at the abilities. Your strength score is now a 14. Gives you a +2. Your constitution hasn't gone up yet, but we can fix that in another one. Your intelligence went up by 1. Meh. Right? It's like, meh. That's fine. But your wisdom went up by 1, which gives you went up by 1. So you went from an 11 to a 12, which now instead of having +0, you have +1. So you actually get a modifier there. All right, but what's also cool is, if I'm not mistaken, because you're past 4th level, you now get to improve any of them that you want. So remember, we didn't end up getting to improve. Oh, God. Oh, see, okay, here's the problem. Yeah, even numbers, like I will sit here and that's the even though we've taken a long time to do this one because we're doing explaining, when I'm making my own character, I am always like, carry the 1, like moving that around because I want even numbers as well. Yeah. So you get to choice here. And Honey Mocha will know why I'm all hesitant here because I clicked it and I reminded myself of what else you do. So you can do the same thing where we can just do an ability score improvement and just increase 1 ability score by 2 or increase 2 of them by 1. You can, so if we wanted to take that constitution up by, oh, right, because I think the +2 is on the bottom. Or increase, oh yeah, no. So you can, if we wanted constitution to go up by 1, and then what was it that was still at an odd number? I know. That's the thing is, we're letting Renegade know. We're letting Renegade know the options here. Wisdom. Thank you. We're letting Renegade know the options. So at level 4, you get an ability score improvement, which means you've been out in the world, you've been doing stuff. So now these are what your scores look like. So wisdom is still on an odd number right here. Oh, yeah, because we boosted it up by 1. Wisdom's on an odd number. Like, intelligence would also be on an odd number. So we're going to end up with one of them on there. That's okay. That's fine. So these are options you can do. And that's okay, because that means that then if you get one other thing that boosts you up by 1 on wisdom, that's fine. That's good. This is the basics. That's the basic thing you could do. However, instead of boosting up one of them by 2 and then the other one by, or one ability score by 2 or, doing that, instead of boosting that, you could alternately take a feat. Take 2 boost in charisma for intimidation. Yeah, that might be the other move here. You could alternately take a feat. Now, a feat is like a specialized skill set that gives you another boost. So a feat alert, you get alert with being a guard. That was a thing you learned being a guard. Your character's been out in the world, so maybe they've learned a couple of other things. For example, I'll just do this as an example for oh wait, I just want to, oh yeah. So this is an example. I almost always take this one. With this feat, you don't get the ability score. You don't get to bump up your numbers any. What you do get to do is that your hit point maximum increases by an additional 2 hit points. So if you're like level 10, yeah. Because Rumi's observant, truthfully being a guard. Okay, so here's the thing with observant, right? So observant, let me see if it's different in here, because I know some of them changed up some of their wording. I went past it, LMNOP. Did I scroll past it? LMNOP, or is observant further down? What the heck? Am I losing it? LMNO. I think it's probably just further down here. So observant as a feat, and then you also get to boost this up, right? You're quick to notice details of your environment. You gain the following benefits. They took out a lot of feats. I know, I was like, where's I will go back and pull this back from 2014 because I love it. So, observant. You're quick to notice details of your environment. You gain the following benefits. You can increase intelligence or wisdom. By 1. So you do get a little ability score boost here. If you can see a creature's mouth while it's speaking a language you understand, you can interpret what it's saying by reading lips. And you have a +5 bonus to your passive perception and passive investigation scores. So this is just as a character that's alert, you're always scanning, which I think would make sense in the guard position, especially if one of your buddies is playing a character that is also like royalty or noble or anything. Thinking the same thing as an odd number. Yeah, I don't mind intelligence being an odd number since we've decided that's your dump stat. We've decided that's let the nerds handle intelligence. And honestly, let the nerds handle wisdom as well. Yeah. Thematically observant works for this character. I agree. I think observant does because then you walk into a room and your DM, if they're using D&D Beyond, or sometimes they'll mark down some of the stuff, they may ask you what your passive perception is. Your passive perception is going to be quite high. Because you're going to get to add 5 more to that. And if I'm not mistaken, you're also proficient in perception. So that'll ultimately be like a +7 baseline. Probably more once I look at your proficiency bonus. So yeah, so if I were to do this, let's just click it, see what we like, see if we like it. So now what your ability scores are. You have a +2 modifier strength, +4 for dexterity, +2 for constitution. No additional for intelligence. You could still roll high. Yeah. Yeah, at a baseline, you get to add 7. And in fact, once we see your main character sheet, it may be higher. It might be proficiency bonus of +3, so it might be +8. We'll see. Wisdom, which is now at 13. Oh, because we added this here. Where did this come from? We're still off, but we're still odd. We could just double up. Actually, hold on, wait. Don't mind me. We could just double this ability score up on double that on wisdom and then 1 on strength. I think that might actually wait, okay, no, it's strength on 2. Oh wait, crap. I do that backwards every time. Don't worry. Hold on, wait. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Because it's strength 1 and then 2, if I'm not mistaken. I always forget that. Yeah, okay, these numbers are prettier. Why is con low? Oh, because we lost con for wisdom. Con 15 is still not bad. That's baseline what we have. That's still a +2, and that's still going to get you better there. But no, I think that in my mind, I thought that we had another in Constitution. That's fine. Again, I'm not min-maxing. I just want it to match your character. I have plenty of characters that have garbage stats, but they play into their garbage stats. You have beautiful stats here. I'm very happy for you. But it's okay. Odd numbers are not the end of the world, but that means the next time you get anything to boost Constitution, that'll be good for you. Okay, so before we do equipment, okay, let's, your character's name is what? Rumi, what was your character's name one more time? Rumi Ellis? I think that was what you had said. And then I like for vibes, these are like the little half-elf pictures that they give you. Yeah, you don't have to make it super high. Like, fighters will want higher Constitution all the time. But, I mean, it just means that you can bleed a little bit more before you pass out. So are there any of these that temporarily kind of speak to you? I just like it because I like having a little icon there. So for number 4, that's similar to what Rumi looks like. Okay, cute. Aw, she's so cute. Look at the little ears. All right, so before we do equipment, let's take a look at what the character sheet itself looks like. Oh, God, my head's too big. Hold up. Reset. All right. Oh, that's probably going to be too small still. Hold on. I'm going to finagle everything to make it so that we can see it, but I'm not like fully in the way. I like have it set up for when I'm doing my things. I'll move me up and off to the side so that we can see the sheet better. I'm in the way. All right, I'm over here now. All right, so this is what your character sheet looks like. Ow! You and your little claw. All right, so I know those a 20 passive perception. If I saw this coming to my table, this is incredible. All right, so we don't have any equipment or anything for you, but I just want to show you the basics of what you got here. These are going to be what you would click. So if you did this on D&D Beyond, which, you know, again, I can send you this. This is cool. So let's say for initiative, are you ready for this? Whistles and hides passives. You get your passives out of here. Get gone. Get with your 27 passive. Yeah, this is incredible. Because like a challenging difficulty to find something in anything for the most part is 15. This is really good. Your acrobatics, so if we did an acrobatics roll, that's because you got expertise in acrobatics. That's criminal. For acrobatics, so let's say that you're like, hey, I want to jump off of this building's roof to the next one, doing a backflip. I'm going to jump and run. Even though you rolled a 9 on the die, you get +10, so that's a 19. That's wild. That's nice. Also, for your initiative, for example, remember, wait till Rumi gets reliable talent when they move to level 7. Oh, I don't even know what that is. So you have advantage on initiative. So that means that, let me see if it automatically rolls your advantage. Yeah, it automatically rolls advantage for you. Oh, wait, is it adding those together? It shouldn't. No, 11 plus... No, it's not. Okay, so those are your advantage rolls. So It rolled an 11 and a 6. So it's going to take the higher, and it adds it to the 7 for initiative, and that's your advantage. So, yeah. So, whatever is in the oval is the number I go with for the modifier. Yes. So, in most checks that you're going to do, you're going to use a d20 for it. Yeah. You're going to use a d20. So, then you use this. So, if someone's asking for a medicine check, you would add that. So 15 plus. Do you got a dirty 20 on a medicine check? This is filthy. I'm going to play your character. Your character lives on my computer now. I'm playing your character now. Just kidding. A dirty 20. Right. Incredible. Yeah, these modifiers are wild. However, like something that could happen to you, something, if anyone has like a lower, like an 8, right? So if we took your intelligence and made it an 8, then if you rolled a 10 plus a 2, like if you rolled just a 10, right, on the die, and if this were a -1, you actually rolled a 9. So it goes back. Gotta give me credit if you use it on the stream. Yeah, exactly. So for the viable talent, Rumi could literally not get less than 20 on a roll. That's so... What a character. But that means that if you're trying to persuade someone that you're supposed to be here, a 12, like you're trying to persuade someone that you're supposed to be here and you're not, because you're like, oh no, really, I left my ID at home, right? 12 may not cut it, especially if it's a high like security sort of place. You might be looking at a 15 or an 18 to just get into the building. Bards, on the other hand, will have crap that looks like this in performance and persuasion. So this is a really cool character. I'm really excited for you. But then here's another thing. So let's say that, because another section that you need to be aware of is over here for your saving throws, because these are modified versions, because the little dot means you're proficient in it. So let's say that someone is throwing a spell at you, right? Something, yes, based on the NPC's DC. Yeah. So someone's throwing a spell at you, and you need to make a DC 17 dexterity saving throw, meaning, which I'm pretty sure fireball is also a dex save, because I got hit with a fireball recently in a combat. Fireballs, you wizards, man. Wizards and your fireballs. Sorry. The fireball coming your way, DC 17, because this is a big wizard. He's been casting these things all the time. This is the, oh crap button, right? This is your I've got this buttons. This is what I'm doing buttons. This is what you're doing to me buttons. So fireball coming at your face. You see it coming through the air. Dexterity saving throw. Oh my God, I thought it was going to fall on a 19 and that would have been rough. Okay, all right. Here you go. Even with your +7, you rolled a 3 on the die. You needed to beat a 17. You didn't. You're like, oh, dang. That thing's coming my way. Let me jump out of the way. You can start to jump out of the way and you do it, but you also get uncanny dodge, which means that if you see the person casting the fireball at you, you see it and go, oh no, fireball, yoink, and you try to jump out of the way. As you're able to do that as your reaction, and your boots are getting singed. You're only taking half damage. If you failed it, you're taking full damage from the thing anyway. So yeah. So in this case, I would have failed the saving throw. Correct. That would be your failed saving throw. Yep. Uncanny dodge gets you to take half damage because maybe you got a little extra boost to you. Okay. Now, let's talk about what basic combat would look like. So we're going to need to go back and add some equipment to you. I'm going to just put the basic equipment. No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm going to put basic equipment on here, but I'm going to swap out some of your equipment right quick. Makes a little sense, but I feel like I'd be a little the best. Okay, here. I'm just gonna add your starting equipment here real quick, and then I'm gonna swap out the short sword for the long sword in a moment. Ooh. Oh, that stinks. Okay, so here's a tricky thing. Your character is not actually proficient with a longsword, but I feel like we could maybe flavor a scimitar or a short sword for the katana. Well, I'll take a look at it.
I'm just being picky.
I mean, that could also be a thing too, where your sister gave you this katana, but you don't have any skills with it, so you're trying to learn how to use it, you know? Like that, maybe you're not the best at it. Knives come easy to you, but you're not the best at it. Go short sword, change your weapon master. Yeah, I think that we're gonna have to. Yeah. So we could either keep it there so that the katana's a long sword. We'll do that. We'll go to your inventory. Again, I don't know if you'll have access to this, but I'm gonna. Oh yeah, you don't have proficiency with a cross. Oh, you do have proficiency with a crossbow. Okay, that's good. Boop, boop, boop. I just click everything. Oh yeah, let me take a look at short sword. Martial finesse allows you to add your proficiency bonus to the attack roll. Vex is what it is. What does Vex do? Yeah. When I chose mastery, I chose a melee and a ranged weapon to have mastery in just to balance things out. Yeah, no, that makes sense. That's typically what I do too. Having my brain sit here and go, like, I need to like see the difference. Scimitar. So scimitars are one-handed. I could almost, for the flavor of this character, and this will be one that you have to. No, it's fine. This is what I'm streaming. I didn't have a plan. I did not have a plan. I started stream late and I did not have a plan. So this is doing a wonderful job. Oh crap. Oh, sorry. I buy tickets for night, got a massage. Sounds good. Sorry, I'm streaming. Hey, I'm streaming. So I missed this. I'll Venmo you. Cool. There we go. Yeah, no, it's totally fine. Also, ad starts in like 30 seconds, so heads up. I could flavor it. Vex gives you advantage on your next attack against the target, but don't you almost always have that anyway with your... And I don't want to get in the weeds, but, you know. Oh, fudge. Okay, on ads. Yeah, sorry. It do what it do. Yeah, let's go back and change that mastery. Also, we've got to do the hit points as well. Mastery. Let me see. So scimitar is Nick, and that also does Nick. It'd be kind of cool to do the scimitar. If the scimitar is... If we need to go take a break while ads are going, that's cool. I am going to grab some water real quick. I will grab water. Hold on. 1 second. Water. I think Vex makes up for missing advantage on your bonus action attack. Yeah. So what is that? Short sword? Yeah. All right, I'm grabbing some water real quick. I'll be right back. Let me actually hit the BRB screen. I've got one of those. Muted. That's me. Yeah. That way you guys can't hear me, like, when I'm puttering around back here. All right. Yep, you got me. Let's see. Masteries. I think we could, because the katana in and of itself, like, because there isn't a specific, because, like, as a character, it already was there. We are just readjusting the masteries. I think either, because the scimitar does nick. So here's the option. Here's the thought that I have with this one, because katanas in and of themselves are faster swords, even though they're not scimitars necessarily. Even though they're not scimitars necessarily, I think that if we did this, you would still get the nick property. What I would consider, because you may not always be up in melee combat, you could do something with ranged. You have a crossbow. I don't have to use my bonus action to attack again. Vex means I get advantage on my bonus action attacks. Vex means that they have a harder time chasing me down. Sap means melee compatriots get advantage. Yeah. So I would consider, because sometimes if you're in an instance where you can't get, because you can still do sneak attack, if I'm not mistaken. You can do sneak attack still with a ranged weapon. Yeah, I know. No, you're so right. Yeah, you're good. You're helping me out. You can still use sneak attack with a ranged weapon. You can still get advantage, and you can still get the stuff that comes with assassin from there. Was made for ranged. Yeah, I agree. So if you're using the crossbow, which you have proficiency in, when you hit a creature with a light crossbow and deal damage to it, you can reduce its speed by 10 feet until the start of your next turn. If the creature is hit more than once by weapons that have this property, the speed reduction doesn't exceed 10 feet. So it can't go 10, they have a movement speed of 30 feet. They can't go, oh, now I can only move 20. Oh, now I can only move 10. Like, it doesn't do that. But this would be a great one, I would say, to consider, because you may not always be in a position to do that. And sneak attack with a crossbow from distance with, what was the other thing we had going on there? With your advantage, with, like, yeah, this is, with the assassin, where is assassinate? With assassinate, during the first round of each combat, you have advantage on attack rolls if they haven't done it. If your sneak attack hits the target during that round, the target takes extra damage of the weapon's type equal to your rogue level. So that's you hitting it with advantage with sneak attack die +5 on top of all that from away. So yeah. It's a pretty cool feature. And you get to do that at the top of each round of combat if any other creature hasn't taken a turn.
Cool. That's what I would do. You don't have to listen to me. I was just as a suggestion.
Yeah, and I think that fixes the issue here. So then, yeah, because that, now it has the star on it that tells you have weapons mastery in it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to yeet the short sword, and I'm gonna add in a scimitar. Oh, there we go. I wonder if they have katana. No, scimitar. We'll just add a little basic dude. You may want to talk with your DM. Sometimes, depending on the game, your DM may want you to have, your DM may give you extra things. Like you can have one uncommon item, you can have one rare item, you can have different things like that. So speak with your DM to be like, are there any other things that I need to know about? That would be a thing I would propose you do. Yep. Because then sometimes if they're like, yeah, you can have an uncommon magical item or a common magical item, So, for example, if you wanted to do scimitar, right? Like, let's say that this is a fancy sword, right? So, some of these may not show up for you here because I've got Xanathar's Guide. In darkness, the unsheathed blade of this sword sheds moonlight, creating a bright light within 15 feet. So that's like a magical weapon there. Maybe if you were playing Curse of Strahd or going up against vampires or something, you know, a silvered one is really great. You know, and then there's once they get into uncommon, you get other fancy things. So, for example, Scimitar of Warning, yeah, double-bladed scimitar for thematic purpose. Special two-handed. The double-bladed scimitar is the signature weapon of the Valinor elves. A half-defined wood supports a long curving blade on either end, forged with techniques honed over centuries. These blades are strong, sharp, and remarkably light. Each scimitar is a masterpiece, and as a result, the double-bladed scimitar is an expensive weapon. Even though few, though, have ever had the opportunity to purchase one. A Valinor blade in the hands of a non-elf is generally assumed to have been stolen or looted from a fallen foe, and a Valinor elf might feel entitled to demand its return. Special, if you attack with a double-bladed scimitar as a part of the attack action on your turn, you can use a bonus action immediately after that makes a melee attack with it. This attack deals 1d4 slashing. I don't know if it's two-handed, and on top of it, you would have to use your bonus action, which we have other things we want to use our bonus action for. Like, we're like, instead of going with the scimitar, we can go you know? Yeah, and then, like, you know, like, or you could, like, be like, can I get the +1 scimitar? But then it starts getting way fancy. Like, some of these are, yeah. Rumi might use a shield, so I don't mind using a bonus action. So, do you have shield? I don't think you don't have proficiency in shield. However, because rogues kind of think about like mechanically, think about as a character, might not use a shield. So okay, gotcha. Yeah, love weapons of warning. People forget it doesn't just affect the wielder. Yeah, it affects everyone. It's basically Sting from Lord of the Rings, where it starts glowing as danger comes by, and you can't be surprised. I'm fortunate that people that I play with, we don't have the I'm interrupting your long rest with the combat. So yeah, I don't have that proficiency for shields, then I'm good. Yeah. Rogues don't have proficiency with the shield. Yeah. So this, I think, honestly, I'm gonna be so real. I'm pretty stoked with the character that you've got here. You don't have any magic items, so you don't have to attune anything. But if you do have a magic item, you do that. I went ahead and put your leather on. You have light leather armor. So that boosts it up. So now anyone who needs to hit you hits with a 15. Or they have to hit a 15 in order to hit you. Getting nicer armor is nice. And a lot of this comes from your dexterity bonus anyway. So your dexterity plus the armor. So it's like, you know. I would sell the short bow and arrows since you're using crossbow and proficiency. Oh, I didn't even see that. Oh, yeah. Get out of here. Let's go delete them. Yeah. All right, so crossbows. You got the 2 daggers. Oh, wow. No proficiency with daggers. That what? Is that right? Is that I can't wrap my head around. Oh, it's simple weapons. Simple weapons are daggers. I'm goofy. My brain is gone. Daggers are simple weapons. I'm a silly goose. Yeah, Rumi has brick colored light leather armor. She does daggers. Yeah, I'm on the internet and I hadn't drank enough water. That's the problem. I don't think I finished my coffee. We got so into it. The spear. Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah, let's get this junk out of here. See, I usually just by the time I'm done building the character, I get to equipment and I'm like, I don't care. I just carry it anyway. They don't have proficiency with anything heavy. Yeah, that's why like magical armor stuff is really nice. Or anything that boosts dexterity or things that will help increase your armor class. So I believe we have your character. Oh wait, hold on, we gotta check the hit points. We gotta... Let's manage the HP. Fixed HP plus 10 from Constitution. Is this correct? Yeah, I guess 38 does make sense. Total possible is 50 though. We could roll it. But other than that, yeah, this is your character. 38's not bad. For level 5? Yeah. Ta-da! There's Rumi. She's so cute. Look at that. So what I'll do is... let me see. Do you have a D&D Beyond account? Otherwise, I can get the PDF for this and then drop it to you. Yay! I'm glad. I'm glad that you've got a character now. I know that, yeah, thank you. Oh, it's okay. Trust me, don't apologize for typos in here. I do verbal typos all day. So you don't need to, don't apologize. And I'm also, full disclosure, so glad we didn't have to pick spells because I could sit there and try and pick spells all day. It's that thing. All right, let me get your export as a PDF. Click to copy. The only tricky thing with this is that I would keep like the set. Let's see. Just add them to the typo bonfire. I do not have a D&D Beyond. PDF sent via Discord is perfect. Awesome. Great. So I will get that, and it's got a bunch of details on your stuff. It's gonna have a bunch of extra pages. Cool. Let me go to recents. Because if I don't do this now, I will forget. But that's awesome. So I hope that anyone else who's been lurking around is like, how do I do this? I hope that this is going to be helpful. And Daniel has been like, you gotta like save your VODs and then turn some of this into some short form. So no, I'll if you don't mind, I'll probably be turning some of this into short form videos, like little moments that we have in there. If anything turned out to be funny, if you found anything funny, it's just, we'll see. Okay, let me see. Rename Rumi Ellis. Boop. And, oh, because it's open, so I gotta close the thing. Close all tabs. Oh gosh, I gotta rename it again. Rumi Ellis. Great. Are you over in Winter's Tales? Because I think I just gotta find you from there. I'm like sitting out here, I'm like, dang, what Discords are we all in? Because since Castleton, we're in about 5,000 of them. Okay, great. I'll hunt you down from over there. Because I think I have to hunt you down because of the way I have mine, so I don't have a bunch of people messaging me. I just get paranoid. Disable so I can see it. There we go. One renegade. Hello. PDF incoming. Boop. And upload a file. Boop. Boop. There you go. Enjoy your character. Oh, I just sent it to you in a DM. I hope you don't mind. I can tag you. I can put it over in the channel if you would like. Gotta run, wash dishes before I mod for Craig. Oh, yeah. I'm still listening. Take your time. Oh, yeah. I forgot Craig streams at like 2. Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you were hanging out with me today. Like, it's awesome. I love seeing you over in Craig's stuff, and I hope you're enjoying all of our Minecraft shenanigans because, golly gee, we have shenaned once and we will shenan again. Gotta go anyway. Gotta get busy. Hey, totally makes sense. Absolutely. Well, thank you, and I'm glad that we were able to do something useful today. I'm glad that we were able to use our stream. The Minecraft streams are great. I know. I've got to sit down and do some clips of those too. I gotta get my clipping fingers going. I'm glad that he got the lava falls for the first time. So yeah. Yeah, no, this is a good character. And I scrub the serial numbers off of it and play it myself. Yeah. I was happy to use Rumi as an example. I'm glad. No, I'm so glad because I was gonna sit there trying to explain it trying to explain the mechanics of a character when I can't just click it and show examples is the tricky part. So that's why I have so many characters built. Some of them are just concepts of characters. For example, I have one called a Bonk, which is a bard and monk. So it's like a reformed bard, uh, where they used to be scandalous and out there and all that. And there was a College of Dance bard as well, because I'm using that one. And it just moves. There's so many extra actions and unarmed strikes and silly stuff. Oh my gosh. I am loving that. So it's a bard monk multi-class, which I've been enjoying conceptually. I've not gotten to play it yet, but that is a lot of what it looks like. So yeah. Now I can face the screen itself. Did y'all know that water is really good in the summer? Did you know that when it's summertime, water is incredible? Oh, I didn't realize the back window was open this whole time. Turn off lighting some. I guess I could like show and tell something. But yeah. Hurrah! Count Swagula. What a cool name. Let's see. Let's just do coffee chat. D&D club and stuff. I'm still talking D&D club things. But yeah, no, I need, I've got like a to-do list. I have quite a to-do list. Summer break ends for me on August 12th. And I just need to make sure that, let me see, how long ago was that message? Oh, I missed it. I need to just make sure that I stay consistent on things. So that's why, you know, once I save this VOD, which honestly, if I were smart, I would not stick around on stream terribly much longer. But I would, I need to turn some of this into clips. Some of these things of like, here's some stuff we're doing. Short form. What kind of short form stuff would you guys like to see? Because I'm not just D&D. I mean, I do a lot of other TTRPGs. But like I said, I've been adding a little bit more of the teacher humor in, because teacher humor is, I enjoy watching it. I enjoy watching it a lot because, you know, that is the majority of my day-to-day work life. You know, stories from there. I guess that's that weird thing, right? It's like that weird thing where a lot of what I talk about and what I do and everything around here is across a big spread of topics, right? So my nose is all good. So yeah, so I mean, clearly this summer has been the summer of Minecraft, but it will not always be Minecraft. I will probably do a lot of it. We did a little bit of Minecraft streaming last night. I missed out on a local social event for it. I feel kind of bad, but it's that thing of like where it felt like 4 or 5 different things were scheduled for this weekend overlapping, and I don't like saying no to it, especially when I know I am capable. I'm in a good headspace. So I want to do more. But yeah, what kind of other content would you like to see? I'm trying to think, should I start throwing some of these VODs up on YouTube? Because I know that, I almost called this Discord. I know that Twitch doesn't keep their VODs up. Like, they now have a limit for how many hours. Not only hours of VODs, but also hours of highlights and different things too. So they have a little bit of that. I guess we could check out and see what other, like, what sort of stuff, because I do think I get a tiny budget. I think I get a teensy weensy little budget. I think I get a tiny little budget for D&D Beyond, or for the D&D club. So yeah, I guess we could see if there's any other stuff I need for it. Aw, you're so good, Renegade. I'm so glad that you had a good one. Anytime. Yeah, no, playing Like, checking out everything for that makes me happy. Oh, let me move this over. Move over. Nope. Nope. Incorrect. Scoot over here. Scoot this under here. Whoa. Let me check Steam. Let's see if any sort of chill game is calling to us. Like, I gotta be careful because sometimes I'll play a game and go, whoa, and then that's the rest of the day. Later on today, and this is... So later on today, you may just hear my voice over on... You may just hear my voice over on... Oh, a friend request. Oh, I did get that. You may just hear my voice over on Justin's channel, Forever GM Justin. I guess he's going to be filming it and doing it on his own channel. But we're going to be trying to build a Magic the Gathering deck together using the new space cards, Edge of Eternity. I got to sit there and decide. I've got to decide, like, how deep into that one I'm getting. Because I don't think there were any other ones that I was like super duper dying for. Well, yeah. Should we go back to just chatting? I'm not really talking D&D now. Let's go back to just chatting. We ran away! Run away! Cool. Next sleepover. Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. Oh, by the way, yeah, new phone. Holy crap. This thing is so nice. I can't remember the last time I bought like an updated phone. Like one that's like nice. Trying to figure out what I'm doing with my lighting and situation over here. Because I don't want these lights to be much brighter, but... Oh. I watched Apothecary Diaries over the course of like a day and a half. And it's like, how do I explain this? Apothecary Diaries felt like the Korean webtoons that I like reading, but it was like, it was put in there, and it was like, I also loved that because I do love a good romancy webtoon. I won't read a romance novel, but I do love, I love like the will they won't they-ness of stuff. I really like that. And I'm gonna pull up stuff from it. So here's my struggle is that the next oh wait, let me do something real quick. The next season of it is on Crunchyroll. I don't have Crunchyroll, but I want to watch it. So I am about to shake down some friends for Crunchyroll stuff. Because, like, I'll get it every now and then. Like, there's always, like, something that I'll watch. I think, what was it? When I was big on Yuri on Ice, I would do that. And I don't watch anime a lot. It's really, like, these summers when I have time to sit down and binge and everything. And I find that shows like that are not as... You have to pay attention to them in a different way than you do, like, Game of Thrones or something, right? So I like that it's a slightly more lo-fi watch, but this one really struck a chord with me. The process of what happened was K-pop Demon Hunters came out. I was like, wow, magical girl times. I want to watch Sailor Moon again. Watched Sailor Moon all the way up through the Eternals movie. Still need to watch Cosmos. Gonna watch Cosmos. But before I could click Cosmos, the Apothecary Diaries, like, ad came up. And I was like, oh, I like this. So, I did that. But yeah. Maybe then we will go ahead and call it a stream today. Yeah, 3.5 hours. I know it's not the world's longest, but, and I just don't know what the situation is. Let me kind of check messages. So bad about checking messages. I want to see, I may just be a voice over on, let me actually ask Justin. Are we gonna just gonna stream this on your channel. Cause I just stream. I started stream. Well, I mean, he saw me. Justin was in here. Justin was in here. He knows I was streaming. So, yeah, because I may just be a voice and like in a Discord call and however we're gonna get that put out there. But yeah, we're gonna look at the trying to build a commander deck ahead of time to kind of see. I just want to see, do I want to get deep in the weeds for this particular one? Head in air. Either way, I think I am gonna go ahead and call this one here. I'm gonna go rest my eyeballs, go stare at a wall for a little bit. Everybody get some hydration. It's too hot out there in the northern hemisphere, so hydrate, don't dehydrate. And then I'll stream tomorrow. Don't know what time. Tomorrow's another one of those that's turned out to be a busier day. Actually, let me double check. Let me see what time I can stream tomorrow. Yeah. Oh, wait, tomorrow's a big day. Haha. So I'll probably stream a little bit in the morning, early afternoon. And then later in the evening at 8 p.m. Eastern, we're doing the Wild Magic West talkback. So all of us from episode 1 and then all of the folks from chapter 1 and chapter 2, we're going to be talking about the experience and all of our character feelings and all those different things that we love about D&D. We're gonna talk on that at 8 p.m. Eastern. So I'm really I DM tomorrow afternoon, so I might miss stream. I don't know. I usually stream in the morning. So this morning I started an hour late. I usually stream starting at 10 Eastern. But today I started at 11. I just needed a little extra time. But yeah, so if like around lunchtime, I'll just eat an earlier brunch kind of situation. But yeah, so I'll probably stream earlier than tomorrow afternoon, or tomorrow evening, 8 p.m. Eastern is when we will have Wild Magic West over on Winter's Tales, and it'll be fun. Shout out Winter's Tales so that you can see it. Hold up. I have commands for this. Winter's Tales. Yeah. Go and follow them. And if you like westerns with magic, you may really enjoy this story. So it'll be a good time for everyone. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and tap out. I'm going to go rest my eyeballs, drink some water, and do that thing. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.